Right. For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
This could be the start of a break-in.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Or the end of one. Introducing 24/7 Lifeguard Protection, only from Simply Safe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
When your people are ready, your business is ready. Cintas makes sure they have what they need to perform their best. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, fire protection systems that are tested and inspected, first aid and safety supplies, floor mats, or cleaning tools and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together, so visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings play at the Houston Rockets tomorrow night at 5 p.m. De'Aaron Fox may have a chance to play Saturday or Monday after spraining his ankle last Sunday. You can hear from Fox and Brennan Nunez's latest story up right now at SactownSports.com. Our coverage of the Kings and Rockets tips off at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow with G-Man on the call at 5. The NBA in-season tournament begins today with 7 games going on. The Golden State Warriors will play the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first game in the Kings Group C. And in football, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Tennessee Titans 20-16 last night. The Steelers are 5-3 on the year, despite the fact they've been outgained in yards in all 8 games and have the 23rd ranked offense in football. Those are your headlines. Let's get started with Stiles and Watkins.
It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes, yes, yes. On a Friday fun day, I bring to you show number 7. 7. What was it? Thumbs up 7-11 or?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Thumbs up 7. What was it? It was something like
7
that.
Heaven or whatever it was.
Yeah.
There you go. Stiles and Watkins.
Shout out elementary.
Sactown Sports. Shout out elementary school.
All those games.
Shout out rock paper
substitute
scissors.
teachers,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, yo, shout out substitute teachers, because if a substitute teacher showed up,
Yeah. Oh, it was.
throw on the movie.
Yep. Roll out that cart.
That's right.
With the TV on it. You know.
That's right. And we're not rolling anything out today, because we got a great show for you. We got some sound from everybody's favorite NBA talking head, Nick Wright. I know everybody's going to love that. And later in the show at 1:15, Hunter Patterson, NBA writer for The Athletic. That's going to be great as well on a Friday fun day. Chris Watkins, how are you doing? Great. 2 days removed from our tie in golf.
Yes.
And we'll run it back.
Yeah,
how are you doing?
Feeling good, feeling rested. Feeling ready for the weekend for sure. It's the Niners have a bye this week, so I might actually be able to do something on Sunday. So that might be a nice little change. But yeah, besides that, excited for the weekend, of course.
Yeah,
how you doing? Because I know you golfed yesterday, and you got
a lot
family
going.
moving in this weekend. So.
No, yeah, I got a lot going. We're finishing the move.
Oh, man.
Okay. And like
That's
we
a
said,
nightmare.
by the way, we have an update on De'Aaron Fox. We'll get into
Yes.
James Harden. I am the system.
Mhm.
You are a joke. So we'll get into that as well. NFL in Germany, why? Nobody cares out there, but we're going to talk about it.
Yep.
Yeah, but what I want to talk about right now is moving, because we moved this weekend. Okay, wifey is finally coming. The bachelor party in Sacramento's over. It was a good run, though.
It was a good run.
You were a part of it.
Yep.
You were a part of it.
Yep.
We hung out. I had some mac and cheese. It was great stuff. It was good
It was
stuff.
a wild time.
It was a wild
okay?
time. We had some mac and cheese at 2:00, and it's over now. But I have to ask you, when it comes to moving, because we've just graduated to just movers, right? And my buddy's hitting me up. Oh, I got a buddy that's got a truck that's got this. No.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But we're getting a truck now.
Yeah.
Or we're
It
getting
gets to that
movers.
point,
I
for
can't.
sure.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely gets to that point with everybody, and especially with as big of a move as what you're making.
Yeah.
I mean, you're definitely clearing some
We got a
land there.
crib.
Exactly.
And we
You got
all
crib,
this.
you got all that stuff, and you're moving it a good bit. Like, you don't want to just strap that thing
Right,
back
no.
of someone's truck with some tarps.
You
and some
always see them on the
bungee
freeway, and I
cords.
just avoid them.
No, you don't want to be going 40 miles an hour down the
No.
bridge and all the way down.
No.
No. That's doing way too much. So yeah, you did the right thing by
Yeah.
bringing the movers in. I'm sure it cost a little bit extra, but it's kind of that cost benefit,
Yes.
where it's like, it's so much worth it. And yeah, man, I mean, I'm glad that, you ain't got to lift a finger this weekend.
No.
'Cause I know moving, especially, when you're the one doing the moving especially with the significant other, can be a lot of, contentiousness in the air when moving starts
put
to
it
happen.
this way.
Yeah.
This way. This
angle
way.
it. No, the other way.
Yeah, the other way. You
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
play Tetris?
Yeah.
Did you play Tetris growing up or not? So I'm glad.
you don't want any of that.
Hopefully we don't have to deal with that.
No.
Hopefully smooth move to, I guess, everybody. Shout out to my listeners in Natomas,
Yes.
right? And apparently we're called the NATO.
Okay.
We're in the NATO
Okay.
now. That's where
The
where
Thomas
we're
could
chilling.
also kind of be the toe as well.
It could be the
No
toe.
toe,
See, Chris doesn't care today.
No.
I can already
No.
tell.
No.
After
It's a Friday, man.
after he
We're
put up
loose.
Shaq Kobe numbers yesterday with his moral victory rant. So now Chris is just mailing it in.
Yeah, I was
and
like,
I'm
I've done
happy
my job
for it.
the
I'm
week,
happy for it. We're going to talk about James Harden. We're going to talk about the NFL. You finally got Tyreek Hill going up against the Chiefs, who he has had a lot to say. And Tyreek Hill, honestly, I know we're not going to talk about the troubled past. We know he's on record. We know all of that stuff. But as a receiver, I do think that weirdly he's underrated somehow.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, I think, it's hard for me to say this, and I think it should carry a little bit of extra weight because of my fandom circumstances. But I really do think that this is the season where it really cemented to me that Tyreek Hill's the best receiver in the NFL right now.
Really?
I really think so. I think he is the most dangerous receiver in the NFL. The fact that he's able to still continue to put up this level of production with Tua, who, frankly, I mean, before
careful.
I know, I'm not
Be
going to
careful.
disrespect him too much. So have you seen the mirrored video of Tua throwing?
Yeah, and everybody likes it better.
Yeah, all of a
Everybody
sudden,
likes it better.
when it's right-handed, everybody likes Tua more.
Right.
But, Tua had a lot of struggles before Tyreek got there. Like, his career was very much, I wouldn't say in flux, but there was a lot of question on which side of the fence Tua was going to fall on. Was he going to be a bust, or was he going to be something to build around? And then once Tyreek Hill got there, I mean, everything took off. And I think the fact that, Tyreek is having the best numbers he's had of his entire career, and it's not just because of Patrick Mahomes. I think it's really, really tough to deny that guy who, if I'm not mistaken, already has 1,000 yards, and we're not even halfway through the season.
Yeah.
He's the best receiver in the NFL, or at least I'll say most dangerous. I don't know if there's categories or, specifics in words, but he's definitely the most dangerous receiver in the NFL. And, I think he's head to head with Justin Jefferson, in my opinion. As the best.
Yes. And some people would have Devontae.
Sure,
but
absolutely.
He's been relegated to the upside down.
He's just trying to get 2 catches right now. He's just like, can I get 2 catchable balls?
Can I use my gloves?
Yeah.
Can I use my gloves one time? And what's interesting about that is growing up, when you talk about the Randy Mosses and the T.O.s, and I give love to my Zonts on this show. And if you're just tuning in, Zont, you're horizontal. you are under 6 foot. Verts are above 6 foot, so you're more vertical. And I give love to my Zonts on this show because I have to, because nobody else does, because I watch Love Island. I watch all the shows, and nobody gives love to the Bachelor, all those shows.
Anytime you're 6 foot.
You're
so not 6 foot.
This is not the show for you. And this is the thing, though. When you're talking about the best receivers, growing up, it was always the 6'4" prototype.
Right. Calvin Johnson, exactly.
Right? All
Randy
that,
Mosses, the TOs,
all those
like
guys.
said,
but nowadays, these quick hitters. I mean, I think Cooper Kupp is barely a vert, but these guys, right? These guys, this kind of slant receivers, those type of players. Those are the guys that are now kind of making the biggest impact. And Tyreek Hill has really changed the mold, because you think of Tyreek Hill, okay, you think of Deshaun Jackson. Yeah. We're just going to go route.
Exactly.
But Tyreek Hill is so quick. He's still dangerous in the end zone, in the red zone. Yeah. You always think of, we need the big target, the 6'6" tight end.
To just throw it up to him.
Throw it up to him. But even still, Tyreek Hill has found a way, because he's so quick. And the only thing I will say, as a baseball player and as a smaller baseball player, is I am so sick and tired of this stupid meme or graphic that they have when it's Aaron Judge on second base next to Jose Altuve. Can we stop posting that? Because Jose Altuve...
Is that triggering for you?
Yeah. You know why? Because Jose Altuve has whip in his hips like no one has ever seen. There's not a bunch of Jose Altuves running around.
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness, in baseball, anybody,
right?
No size,
all sizes, all shapes, all that.
It's Jose Altuve, the most exceptional athlete in the history of that sport.
That guy could probably dunk. I guarantee Jose Altuve could probably dunk. So I don't want to hear it. I'm sick of it. But I'm telling you, I tell you, those quick twitch muscles.
Yeah.
Be careful there. So I'm so sick of it. And when you're looking at everything that everybody does and how you can do this, you can do that. You can if you have exceptional talent in a certain way. And Tyreek Hill kind of breaks that mold, because he has literally he raced in the Olympics.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if I remember seeing him win like a qualifier.
He won something. I remember that. So before you say, you can be a receiver to your child or whoever it is, if he's running like Tyreek, maybe so. Maybe. And I see amid rock Mookie Betts. I'll put him on the list. Mookie Betts is every year he's in contention for Zont of the Year. Every year he's in contention because he's so good, but he cannot do it in the playoffs. Yeah, we got issues. So thank you, amid rock, but he can't do it in the playoffs. So. A lot to get into. We got to get to a break. Kyle's telling me we got to go. We got to get to a break. When we get back, we got sound from De'Aaron Fox. A lot of contention when it comes to who hears what and what they hear it from and who they hear it from. All that and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com. This is for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out, Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We are back on a Friday Fun Day, show number 7. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think we said it yesterday. I think we had so much going on. I do not think I said show number 6.
I feel like you did.
Okay, but I feel like I would have done the Drizzy 666, and I don't remember.
Probably would have.
I don't remember doing that.
You mentioned it right off the top, and
That's
then I
what I
don't think you brought it up again.
Okay. Well, as long as I did it, and to tick off whoever on the YouTube chat wants me to stop doing it, as long as I did it, we're good here.
Check.
If you want to be a part of the conversation, Stiles and Watkins, 916-339-1140. Sactown Sports taking you up to 2 p.m. as I get ready to get into moving. After this, I got to drive back to the Bay.
Oh, man.
Grab all our stuff, and we move tomorrow. It's going to be
that's a day.
It's going to be a fun time.
That's a whole
I've
thing.
actually been looking forward to it.
You say that with sarcasm.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I was like,
Of
man,
course.
I was like, I don't know. I mean, some people really do enjoy the moving process. Like some people,
I don't know those
I don't know
people.
about moving, but like cleaning things out. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that's
having an opportunity
the only
to
good thing is
rearrange.
that we have cleaned out a lot of things that we needed to clean out.
Alan, how much of a hoarder are you? Do you have a lot of extra stuff?
I'm like half hoarder.
Yeah. Because that's the thing about moving too,
Yeah.
is you figure out how much just unnecessary stuff you have lying around, and it's like it's a perfect opportunity.
I
to
got a
throw
Mighty
things out,
Ducks
but,
jersey that I can't get rid of.
Yeah.
That I
mean,
probably should get rid of.
You know, clothes are its own separate issue. It's more like, you know, you got some knickknacks, you
Yeah.
got some, you know, Allen's first home run ball sign.
Yeah, no, actually, I don't even know where that is in the streets.
Really,
But I remember my first home run. It was in Pony. First home run over the fence.
Yeah.
13 years old, and I hit it, and I'm rounding the bases. My dad's already on the phone. He didn't even see the ball go over the fence. He's already on the phone because he's just like, I mean, I've been waiting for this for 13 years. I don't know when I'm going to get it
knew
back.
it was going to happen.
I knew it was going to happen. He's on the phone. We're going to the league. We did not go to the league. We went to a different league. We're here. We're doing sports with you 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And De'Aaron Fox, who is in the league, had some things to say about Shams, who had an update yesterday on his injury, but now De'Aaron is questioning where Shams got that information from.
So Shams says there's a chance you play Saturday. Well, I didn't see that report.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, his face tells it all too. Like,
Yeah,
you have to watch the video.
he's definitely annoyed. And my question to you, Chris, and to the listeners is the intrusion. And I've seen a lot of people even state it as well when whoever for the Raiders broke what's going down with the Raiders, and then the Raiders tweeted a minute after.
Right.
Do you have a problem with the Shams and the Wojs of the world with their inside information and how athletes are kind of going up and saying, hey, I don't know where they're getting this information from?
Yes, definitely have an issue with it because it seems like these guys, I mean, like the situation you just kind of laid out, it seems like these guys are getting information before players and sometimes even like the team is getting information. So that it's just concerning. Like, I mean, you know, yes, of course it is Shams and Woj's job to, when they find out that news, they're news breakers. Like they're not, they are journalists, but they're almost like a new form of journalism where you're not writing stories. You're not really telling stories even. You're just you're breaking news. And that's really all that they're there to do. And so, you know, they've kind of created their spider web of connections that has really, really deep-seated roots in pretty much every organization. I don't think it's every single organization because sometimes we've seen them get some information wrong or, you know, just not necessarily 100% accurate. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a problem when these guys seem to have information that isn't being that isn't told through play. Like they're breaking trades that players can't even call, you know, their families or anybody. They can't find it out because everybody's finding it out at the same time.
Yeah. And you know, to be honest with you, I'm still trying to figure out how the people that are giving Shams and Woj information, how it benefits them. Like certain things I get, but the trades and updates like this, like what does it benefit somebody on the Kings? And I'm not saying there's a leak in the system.
No, for sure.
But if
it's happened in the past.
De'Aaron is saying, I don't know where Shams got this information, Somebody told it to him, but why did that person tell it to Shams? I have no clue. What does that person have to gain from telling Shams? Because he can't even say who he got the information from. So I don't really understand that. And then you have De'Aaron who just ticked off about it.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I mean, everything has currency, right? And I would assume that it's information exchange.
So you think Shams is paying?
No, I would just say like information is his currency.
There is sometimes where they are though. Like there's been reports of Adam Schefter spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on gifts for people who are his sources. Contracts, information has been leaked. There's stuff about this that's been out there.
I'm just going to say, I think that at the very least, like it's a, hey, you know, you give me this information now, but if we want to ask you about someone's market or something like that, you know, like, hey, we're thinking about trading Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter for this. Like, do you know, from what you're hearing about what they're getting offers for Damian Lillard, do you think that that's too much, too little? Like, I think it's things like that where they're kind of getting a exchange of information. That would be my guess.
But that's different to me than a random update about an injury.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's a you scratch my back, I scratch yours, as everything kind of is.
Yeah.
Especially in
I get that. And
industry.
De'Aaron himself, again, is talking about his pain. Here he is where he says where the level is at.
Oh, like a 4. I feel like it's more like the impact of hitting the ground and pushing back is what hurts. But I feel like coming down and like falling on someone's foot is it's a lot easier to come back from that. Like that's happened multiple times, but I think I twisted my ankle and then jumped off of it, so that I feel like that's where it hurt more. So
see, that's how I felt when we were golfing.
Yeah.
That's why we tied.
That's why it was that's why we tied. Right.
Yeah.
Injured, hampered.
That's exactly how I felt.
mean, you know, I could see how, like De'Aaron said there, like in basketball, do you think it's a problem if it hurts to land when you jump? And then also, I think he said to push off.
Yes.
That sounds like it wouldn't be great, for playing basketball.
Not great.
Okay.
Not great.
And also 4 is like pretty close to like 5, which is, you know, like that tells me like your injury is not, you know.
But the fact that he even said 4,
it's halfway healed as well.
Honestly, in my mind, if I hear 4 again, like we've been talking about, and yesterday the Shams report, if you weren't with us, the Shams report is that he would be ready to go, De'Aaron Foxwood, as soon as Saturday. Right. So and Chris and myself, we both felt like you don't need to.
Nope.
You don't need to. You can if you want, but you don't necessarily need to.
Right.
We would love to see you on, what was that, Monday?
Right.
And give yourself a rest. So if he's at a 4 and he's talking about that, he might play tomorrow.
I don't know why. Like, I mean, and what do you think, before we get in, like, what do you think's the number that De'Aaron plays at? Because everybody plays injured. Like, I was thinking if it's like at a 2, I bet he plays. If he would describe his pain as a 2, I think that's like where it's like, I'm going to play through that.
Well, even a 4, I feel like he's going to play one of the days. I just don't know which one.
I feel like it makes a lot more sense to kind of vibe it out. You don't play Saturday. You see how your team looks. If you feel like after that game, like, I mean, if the Kings win Saturday, what are you going to do? Why are you playing Monday? Like, why even do it? Your team already showed the ability to play without you. Again, just take the extra days off. There's no rush. Houston, though they're improved this season, isn't necessarily a world-beating team. I would just sit it out, especially if you win tomorrow. Why play on Monday? And of course, if you lose on Saturday, then there's a little bit more sense of urgency of like, well, we can't drop 2 to Houston. We have to make sure we beat the Golden States, the Phoenixes of the world. We can't be dropping games to especially 2 against Houston. So that would be how I would address it. I just feel like tomorrow is just way, way too soon. What he got hurt on last Sunday, Sunday night, even at that. So I just don't feel like 5 days is enough rest.
I just think it's unnecessary. And to your point, again, for those who didn't know, De'Aaron Fox from the Texas, Houston area, getting his jersey retired in high school tonight. Tonight. So that's why we think that's a big reason why he's even with them on this trip. Obviously, saying his pain is a 4, I think he would be with them either way. But obviously, he wants to play at some point in Houston in front of the home crowd. But you got 2 games. Yep. And luckily for Kings fans, you do have 2 games. So I don't know why you would have to play on Saturday when you have the Monday game. You can play as well.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, and De'Aaron did deny yesterday. Our very own Brendan Nunez asked him, like, does playing in Houston play any impact in this decision? And of course, De'Aaron said, absolutely not. Like, I don't know if I 100% believe that. I think it definitely plays, even if it's 2% of a factor. I think it's definitely playing into the fact that it's even being considered. But I think the most important thing, first and foremost, nothing else should matter. It shouldn't matter that he's in Houston. It shouldn't matter that he's on the road. Shouldn't matter if the Kings win or lose a game, first and foremost, tomorrow. All that should matter is De'Aaron Fox is healthy and him playing isn't going to further aggravate the injury. That should literally be the only thing that anyone's concerned about. And I would even, if I were the Kings medical staff, I wouldn't let this be De'Aaron's decision. I know to an extent you want to have players have a part in that decision-making process, but sometimes
it's too early.
Yeah,
man.
I just think you need to protect your players sometimes, and sometimes players from themselves. Exactly. Yeah. They don't have the best scope of what is best for them, especially in the short term, but also in the long term as well. When it comes to injuries, you got to protect your guys. And I think that this is just, there's no reason, there's no downside in resting him besides maybe losing another game. But having De'Aaron available for the long term is exponentially more important.
Yeah. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we're going to mix in a little bit of Football Friday as we talk Raiders and the new regime in Vegas. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Ready for a sizzling football season? Take your game day parties to the next level with Napoleon Prestige Grills from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. Fire up the grill and score big with mouthwatering burgers, juicy steaks, and finger-licking wings. Napoleon Prestige Grills bring the heat and come complete with a lifetime warranty. Get your ultimate game day companion today. Visit your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply and elevate your tailgate experience with Napoleon Prestige Grills. Green Acres Nursery and Supply, your one-stop shop for grilling greatness this football season. Visit idategreenacres.com for the store near you. Game on.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Did you know one of the worst things you can do is turn on your furnace after it's been sitting there all summer, gathering dust, without giving it a thorough tune-up first? Think about it. What if your car had been sitting in the garage for 6 months without ever running? Any piece of machinery that's been sitting needs to be tuned up. So call Bell Brothers. We'll tune up your furnace for just $87 and guarantee the results. We guarantee that your tuned-up furnace will save you $87 on your energy bills. And we guarantee that your tuned-up furnace won't break down during the season, or we'll immediately refund your money. No questions asked. Don't delay. Small problems that are easy and inexpensive to fix can quickly turn into big, expensive problems. Call Bell Brothers right now to schedule your furnace tune-up at 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is the best place to go all in and all out. Go all in at our table games, then go all out to win on the area's only 3-story indoor card track. Or go all in for our famous award-winning buffet. Then go all out at our state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and beautiful resort hotel, you can go all in for fun and all out for comfort. We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, These are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings play at the Houston Rockets tomorrow night at 5 p.m. De'Aaron Fox may have a chance to play Saturday or Monday after spraining his ankle last Sunday. You can hear from Fox in Brennan Nunez's latest story up right now at SactownSports.com. And our coverage of the game will tip off at 3:30 tomorrow. G-Man on the call at 5. The NBA in-season tournament begins tonight with 7 games slated. The Golden State Warriors will play against the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first game in Group C. Those are your headlines. Reminder, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Now let's return to more of Stiles and Watkins.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
We are back. Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. on this Friday fun day, NFL Friday, Football Friday, whatever you want to call it, even though we're talking Kings. So Regime Friday, Beam Regime Friday? No.
Yeah.
I'm trying. And by the way, I just got to tell you right now, I'm getting roasted on Twitter for something that I posted.
I heard.
And you know what I posted? I stand by it. So Klay Thompson, I was informed, I did not know this initially, but Klay Thompson, after he hit that shot on Davon Mitchell, did the too small, and he did the rockabye baby, which Russell Westbrook does a lot. But he did it after he turned around. And to me, that's kind of soft. If you're going to do something, do it to somebody's face, and I have no problem. I am down with bat flips. I'm waiting for the day where somebody just does cartwheels all around the base path. Oh, wait, I don't care. But do it to somebody's face and let them know. So, Klay Thompson, you hit the shot. Good for you. It was one of not many that you hit that day, but you hit the most important one. And now all of a sudden you're doing the rockabye baby. You're doing the too small after you turn around. That's soft to me. That's just how I feel. After you turn around, I'm not into it. And I posted it on Twitter, and I said it on Twitter. I said, it's soft, and I'm getting toasted. Where are you at? Am I out of line? Did I do too much, or did Klay do too much?
First off, you should have seen the hate coming your way. There was no way that you were going to just be able to have the Bay Area following that you have and just throw that out there and not expect something.
And I love it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is, it's not like you're coming and you're like, oh, like I'm getting.
I do love it. Yeah, I do love it.
Sacramento Zone defending our city.
Sacramento Zone. Yeah. I'm from the NATO. I'm from the
Styles.
Okay, Sactown Styles. I got something for you.
Y'all know.
Yeah.
I mean, just to be devil's advocate, like, could you argue that maybe Klay was just being respectful? Like, he was like, I don't want to disrespect Davon Mitchell. He played great defense all week. I just want to celebrate with my teammates.
Stop.
I just want to say, I don't want to hurt you guys. You guys played a great game tonight. You guys deserve all the credit. Okay, I don't want to disrespect you guys, so I'm just going to celebrate with my team.
I'm out on that.
Okay,
no, I'm out on that. No, I'm out on that because after Klay infamously or famously last season got roasted himself for doing the 1, 2, 3, everywhere 4. He walked. Every time the Warriors got toasted, I'm throwing up the 4. So he goes on Podcast P, Paul George's podcast, and he says, "Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I wish I would have done things differently." So I think it's a new and improved Klay. And then all of a sudden, once you get into the thick of it, once you get into the fire, now all of a sudden you're reverting back. And it's just, and that's why I say the whole mind control, Kings, you got to get it done. But I really hope you don't have to face off against the Warriors because there's just so much random stuff going on. But I didn't like it.
No.
If you're going to do it to somebody's face.
Especially when you got that number 30 guy over there who is not afraid to do it in anybody's face in front of your mom.
Klay is writing checks that he can't cash. Draymond been writing checks that he can't cash. They're all just like, yeah, we going to get you. Steph, get him. Get him. You know what I mean? And at some point, Steph is going to be like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. That is not my fight.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just have to say that I'm out on Klay doing what he did. I don't like it, and come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I was just playing devil's advocate. I completely agree with you. I thought it was I also
no, because you don't mind Clay.
I don't mind Clay, but
Steph.
I don't like the 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like the I also agree that it is soft. Like it is if you're gonna do it
to his face.
Do it to his face. Like what you hiding for?
I have no problem.
He was turned around. He also
clearly.
If you watch the video, he did not like rock the bait. He did not. Russell Westbrook will like swing his arms like
trash all game.
He was scared. He was like, was that just a little bit bait?
Like,
like he was like,
rock the baby. If you're gonna rock the
that's
baby.
what I'm saying. If you're
that
gonna do
baby's
it,
not asleep.
If you're gonna do it, you might as well do it.
Yes.
Like there is no. Oh, okay. The respectful thing was just something I was throwing out there. But like there is, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it and like stand at center court and freaking do it.
Stand on business.
Yeah.
Stand on business.
Come on.
Stand on business, Clay. Okay, that baby's not even asleep the way you were half rocking. So we'll see what happens next for what we play them in 20-something days. So we don't have to talk about the Warriors anymore. Glad to not talk about them as we talk about the Beam team and the Beam regime. But let's get into the black and silver a little bit. The Raiders and Antonio Pierce, the new regime, they are feeling good. They are feeling froggy. They are feeling very excited about what they have going on. Here's Antonio Pierce and his entrance to the black and silver as the head coach.
And had opportunities to leave and go to other organizations. I decided not to. The short story, the matter of fact is I grew up in Compton, California. I was born a Raider. I was born with the Raiders rolling in the Coliseum in L.A. I was rolling with NWA, talking straight out of Compton, rocking Raider hats. So when opportunity came to work with Josh and Pat Graham and Dave, I jumped on it. So that's what set me up for this. I was born this way.
I mean, that's just a piece of it.
I'm ready.
If that doesn't get you,
run through a wall right now.
If that doesn't get you, I mean, I got goosebumps a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Raider fan though.
I mean, no, that's what makes the Raiders so great though too. Is like their fan base is incredibly underrated. Like it is really sad that they haven't been able to be as successful as what I think what they've been in their past, because there's nothing like, maybe like Cowboys fans are a little similar, but like it feels like Raider fans, they just really like it's a part of them. It really is a part of who you are as a person, and like it seems like it's deeper than every other fan base. And that's I have tons of Raider fans in my life, and like they're all the exact same. I mean, they much like the Kings fans. It doesn't matter how bad they are. It's almost like they expect them to be bad every single year, and it doesn't change the fact that they care about their team just endlessly.
They don't care.
I mean, that's exactly what you would want to hear from a guy who's taking over in about as bad of a situation as what you could ask. Maybe, I mean, funny enough, I think the Raiders have actually been in weirder situations or in coaching takeovers, but that's the exact kind of guy I would want in charge if the ship is sinking the way it seems like it is. It's just a guy who understands what it is at its core that the Raiders are about.
Yeah, and to bring it back to the Niners and what's going on with Steve Wilks, I think that is where, and even Kyle Shanahan, this is the direction that I feel like coaching is going. A player's coach, younger guy. Let's
been in the league too.
Been in the league. Let's get down and dirty with our team. Yeah. So I think this really fits the mold of what has been successful lately. The Dan Campbells of the world, right? The Robert Saleh's. I know he's D'Amico, those guys. That's what it feels like the trend currently is, right? So
the Jeff Saturdays of the world.
Okay. He beat the Raiders. He beat the Raiders.
That's honestly like that is what the Raiders are hoping for this week. That it is that same like influx of just energy and hopefully looking like a team that they didn't look like the entirety of this season. Right. Even if it only is for 1 week, this Raiders team has even seen, under they already had the Rich Bisaccia run previously kind of under this same exact situation. Like I wonder if, I don't know if the talent is necessarily there on this team, like the quarterback, Derek Carr, that old Derek Carr isn't walking through the door anytime soon.
2016.
Yeah. He's not walking through that door anytime soon. So I don't know if they'll be able to have that kind of run, but I would at least expect the energy in that building to be a whole lot different. And I would hope that also, we were talking about Devontae Adams earlier. I just hope that rule number one is get Devontae the ball. Just put the ball in his hands. Please.
Yeah, just give him a chance.
And score 20.
So you're saying
just
there's
put
a
up
chance.
21.
Yeah.
Just once.
You mentioned Rich Bisaccia a second ago. That year that they made the playoffs, which, the coach got fired under different circumstances.
Yes.
But it's the only time ever that a team has fired a coach midseason and made the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah. One of one. And again, it wasn't because of performance that the coach got fired.
No, it was not.
But they also weren't performing.
Yes.
Yeah, and they got better they won a lot of crazy one-score games, but their record improved under Bisaccia.
Yeah, and they let him go. I believe he's in Green Bay now. So,
I believe he's their special.
And I think the Raiders messed up there. I think they should have kept him, but now he's moved on, and we're going to see what happens with Antonio Pierce.
He's got the right energy, that's for sure.
He definitely does, and I think that's exactly what people are looking for. So we'll see what happens with the Raiders. Got to get to a break. When we get back, I had some things to say about our guy, Keegan Murray. Does he have the yips? Is he in a slump? Or is it just a slow start? That and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
What's up, Vancouver?
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m.
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I had terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports, on a Friday, fun day. Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. You're going to want to hang around for Hunter Patterson at 1:15, NBA writer for The Athletic. That's going to be a good time as we talk to him about all things Kings. We broke down me fully moving, finally finishing the move to Sacramento, to the NATO, to the toe this weekend. That starts tomorrow for me.
What have you been sleeping on recently? Do you have a
It's
bed
been an air mattress.
Air mattress?
Yeah,
Oh
it's
God.
been
just
rough.
like plopped in the middle.
Yeah, and you know what? If I'm being completely honest, on this Friday fun day, every night at about 3 a.m. I wake up because it's leaking
It's flat,
air.
yeah.
Gotta refill it.
Man, you got to get a new air mattress.
Has there been a time?
I've had it for a while.
Has there been a time where you were just like, I'm not going to refill?
I'm not gonna refill
It's
it.
just too early.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean that's
wake up with the neck
That's what
pain.
happened last night. It's been a couple times where I just let it rock, but this was the last night.
Yeah,
with
right.
the air mattress,
Yep.
we finished the move. So
Love
very
that for you.
excited
You
for
got
that.
boots on the ground in the toe.
Boots on the
Exactly.
ground. We are really putting down roots and boots in the toe. So very excited about that. As I said, very excited about Hunter Patterson joining us at 1:15, NBA writer for The Athletic, as we take you up to 2 p.m. before the drive, guys. And we talk about Keegan Murray and what's going on with Keegan Murray. I know I've been a bit harder on him than you have been, Chris.
Yeah.
I don't think he's played poorly. I'm not saying he's played poorly, but I'm
Sure.
saying there are hotter starts he could be on that he is not on right now. And if the Kings are going to take that next step, it seems like De'Aaron might play very soon. So I guess we can, in this instance, stop talking about De'Aaron being out. But either way, you're going to need Keegan to take that next step.
Yeah.
What have you seen from Keegan? How do you feel about it?
I just think the shots aren't going in. I really think it's as simple as that. I think the leap has been made. It's just not showing up necessarily in the efficiency stats. You look at the raw numbers. I mean, Keegan has made a leap. He went from 12.2 in his rookie season to right now he's at 14.5, but he's shooting 36% from the field, 27% from three. Last year he shot 45% from the field, 41% from three. So he's already he's taking 5 more shots a game, taking 3 more threes a game, and he's got his percent or his points per game up about 2 points. So again, like, he's clearly more involved in the offense.
Yeah.
And if he's hitting at the same percentages that he's hitting last year, he's at like 16, 17 a game. So
Right.
I think in terms of the skills, the abilities, and what we were hoping to see him do, he's doing it. It's just not showing up in made baskets.
Mhm.
And eventually, I don't think Keegan Murray is going to shoot 27% from three at the end of this year.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's going to shoot 36% from the field at the end of this year. So my hope is, and it's not a guarantee, but my hope is, as those percentages go up, I assume the points per or the field goal attempts and the 3-point attempts will probably stay around the same.
Right.
I'm just hoping that the percentages going up leads to points going up as well. And
Okay.
I think at that point it just looks a lot better. But I didn't realize his percentages were that bad. I just looked at the end of the box score. He had 15 at the end of game 1, 16 at the end of game 2, 17 at the end of game 3, and then of course what he had in that Warrior game, 0 of 7 from 3. Like, he's not going to be able
this
to put up
early.
stats.
Yeah, this early, that's going to tank your percentage.
Exactly. That's it.
Any way you look at it. 916-339-1140. Is Keegan Murray in a slump, or is it just a slow start? So when I talk about Kevin Huerter, and when we talk about Kevin Huerter, I would say that I think it's getting very close to you got the yips, because I think the yips also affects free throws and things like that. I think Kevin Huerter is in a slump. Because I think Kevin Huerter's in a slump, and I look at what he's done against the Warriors and all those types of things, I would say Keegan Murray is not in a slump. I am still in the camp that it is just a slow start, a slower start than we would have hoped for, and I believe that he will figure it out.
Yeah, because the shots that he's taking are good shots, right? Would you say that? Like, would you say he's also taking open? Like, would you agree with me that they're just not going in? Like,
They're just not going in.
eye test wise,
Yeah.
from what you've seen from Keegan this year, would you say that you have been the expectations have been met, or like, just again in terms of how it looks, in terms of what he's doing, putting the ball on the floor? Have you liked what you've seen from him?
Yeah.
Aside from the shots going in or
Yes,
not?
yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Then I would
And-
say that's a positive.
And when the shot isn't going in, I think I really like what he did against the Warriors a couple of nights ago, when he decided to get to the cup, see if the floater's fallen, and do those different types of things. So I'm very excited about that, but I don't want a lot of nights where the shot isn't going in, because I don't know that the Kings can afford it. But I will say, not to take it, to GP2 and that sound we played last week, there's only one number 30. and Steph Curry. So having to guard him, not that Keegan guarded him all night, but he guarded him for a lot of the night. That's going to take a lot out of your legs.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens in Houston. You got 2 games in Houston. That's a get right.
Yes.
That's get right.
To get right.
Everybody should get right. You got 2 games in Houston to get right. Kevin Huerter, get right. Keegan Murray, get right. Malik's already been right, but we need guys to get right in Houston and move forward so that the Beam team is ready to just take off once you have to deal with teams that are tougher, because as we know, this Western Conference is nuts.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you say Kevin Huerter, you feel like he has the yips. Do you mean the like the actual yips where it's like you feel like he physically can't get over a hurdle, or do you think it's more of just more saying he's just mentally in his head and that's stopping him from doing something, which is kind of the same thing, but like yips is almost like almost like a disease.
No,
like you have to
the latter.
Okay,
it's in his head. Because I'll tell you a story, and I'll be very honest with the listeners. So, I talk about Temple University, and I talk about how I played baseball, and it was a great time out there. Shout out Philly, shout out cheesesteaks. If you're going to Philly, shout out Ishkabibbles. That's my number one.
Okay.
That's my number one. And we're hopefully another Temple Owl, Kevin Nagandi, on Sports Center. I spoke with him, had a conversation long time ago on my random podcast. Hopefully we'll have him on the show soon, but he's down for Ishkabibbles as well. But I say all this to say that, it was a scrimmage. It was only a scrimmage, Chris, and I don't know what it is, man. It wasn't feeling right. And I was in left field, and I was batting second, and I had the world at my fingertips in a scrimmage at University of Penn. And I felt great about the day going into the scrimmage. I'm going to hit a bomb. I'm going off.
Yeah.
Did not go off. What happened was in the first inning, a ball came to left field. And the ball came to left field, and I said, I got it. The ball started to come down. And the ball was in my glove, and then it popped out of said glove, and it fell on the ground, and everybody stared at me, and I missed the ball. It popped out of my glove, and after that, I had what I think would be the first case of catching yips. After that, I never had a problem catching the baseball. And after that, I struggled, man. I struggled really hard. I worked with coaches. And it was all in my head. I can catch a baseball.
Yeah.
Right. I go out today
your whole life.
my whole life, but it's
not even
mental.
thinking about it. Yeah.
It's mental,
it's the
right?
second you start to think
the second you start to think about it. So I say all that to say Kevin Huerter and what he's going through, he can shoot the basketball.
Right.
We saw he was there. He was the last guy in the gym shooting the basketball, and every ball was going in.
But even
once
that,
it's a thing.
Wouldn't you even say that him shooting, because I think you even put it on social media, and I agree with you completely. Like, isn't even him shooting after practice, isn't that kind of acknowledgement of everything too?
That's right.
And of course, like, Kevin's struggling. He knows he's struggling. Getting up extra shots is the obvious thing to do, but still, it's an acknowledgement of something is not right here, and I gotta shoot through it. The only way you're gonna figure it out is just taking 1,000 jump shots and figuring out what the small tweaks are that's gonna make you feel that level of comfort again. And it just, you can see it, like you said, you can see Kevin Huerter every time he's about to shoot the ball thinking should I shoot this ball? I hope this goes in. I hope this is the one. And it's all mental. You won't see, some people are saying, I feel like Kevin has a hitch in his jumper. I don't think there's anything mechanically different. I haven't seen anything mechanically different with what Kevin's doing this year. It's just, it's not like Keegan where the shot, because with Keegan, I would say it's as cut and dry as make or miss league. Keegan's just missing shots right now. Kevin Huerter, it doesn't look like he's just missing shots.
Well, it's gone on for longer.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? And it's funny because we say it's gone on for longer, but Keegan didn't have a great series against the Warriors either.
He figured it out in real time, which is what was so impressive about what he did. But you would also think that Kevin Huerter, a guy who's a veteran, a guy who's been in the Eastern Conference Finals with the Atlanta Hawks, would be able to kind of go through that also in real time and figure it out because he had been there, done that before. But that's almost, to your point, like that's almost even more reason to think that this is truly something mental. Like this is truly something that is in his head, because it's not just as simple as, he's having a bad 2 weeks now. It's okay. He's had a he's now gone about 5 months of us not seeing the guy that we saw in the regular season last year. Like, because this is even preseason. Like, it's not like, sometimes people are on fire in preseason and then miss every shot come regular season time or vice versa. We have not seen him even have the moments of like, oh, okay, but he had that one preseason game in Utah where he dropped 20. So, we're just overreacting. No, this guy has not had a good shooting performance in about 5 or 6 months.
That's what I was going to ask. And we got to get to a break, but we'll talk about it when we get back. The last really good performance from Kevin Huerter.
I'll look it up.
When that was. We got to get to a break. When we get back, did Davon Mitchell turn the corner and what that means for the Kings? All that and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Yep, that trailer hitch and folding bed cover from Truck Smart makes road trips a breeze.
Right? I'm so much more organized on the job site since Truck Smart installed my truck rack and toolbox.
And they had it all in stock, so I just waited as they installed everything.
Take a look at this sweet Rhino truck lining. They sprayed it on.
Yeah, you win. That is sweet.
Truck Smart, truck and SUV accessories for on the road and the job site. Stop by one of our 2 locations in Rockland or Auburn. Trucksmart.com. Your truck's gonna love them.
Did you know gas goes bad in as little as 30 days? Bad gas can cause rough starts, poor performance, or no starts at all. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Whether it's your car, truck, boat, lawnmower, leaf blower, weed trimmer, ATV, motorcycle, or anything else with an engine, when you store, start with Stable.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
Hey guys, do you know what makes Revive Men's Health Sacramento different? You. Every Revive treatment and medication is personalized just for you. Revive has the experts that guys go to when their current treatment isn't working. They have a complicated medical condition, or they're just not happy with their daily performance. Since 2011, they've helped thousands of local men suffering with the symptoms of low T and ED. Their goal is simple, to get to the bottom of your issues and fix them. Your best performance requires more than generic ED medications or a low-dose testosterone booster at a low-ball price like you find online. Revive medications are custom compounded, affordable, and guaranteed to resolve your issues. Stop dealing with the symptoms of low T or ED. Book your free T-check and exam and save $199 today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599 or visit us at revivemenshealth.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter. These are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings play at the Houston Rockets tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. De'Aaron Fox may have a chance to play Saturday or Monday after spraining his ankle Sunday. You can hear from Fox and Brennan Nunez's latest story up now at SactownSports.com. Our coverage of Kings versus Rockets tips off at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow. G-Man on the call at 5 o'clock. The NBA in-season tournament begins with 7 games tonight. Only one game in Group C. The Golden State Warriors will play against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Next Friday, the Kings play the Thunder in their first in-season tournament game. Those are your headlines. Reminder, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Now let's return to more of Stiles and Watkins.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins, taking you, well, not to your weekend. Some of you we're taking to the weekend. Some of you will hang around and listen to The Drive Guys with Whitey and Draper as we break down all things Kings. Got some NFL for you with the Niners, even though it's a bye week. And we got the text line going right now, the 916. Can I get a recap? Why is Fox mad? All we were saying was De'Aaron Fox didn't know where Shams got his information from in terms of Shams saying he thinks De'Aaron could be ready to go on Saturday, and De'Aaron said, I don't know where he got that info from. So that's what happened there. And 916 also said, Alan, I got your back 100%, period. That is from Steven or Stefan. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate you as I move to Sacramento. Also from the 916, can we please stop?
I was hoping you would read
Stop in all caps referring to Sacramento as the toe. I know the new generation likes to abbreviate everything, but please don't disrespect our city. I'd rather you call it Sactown, and I don't even love that as much. LOL. That is from Nick. Well, Nick, the whole toe thing, we don't really know how it got started.
It's an inside joke.
Yeah. It is an inside. You are now on the inside, Nick, because what happened was Chris, and for those listening, thank you for listening. If it's your first time, thank you for joining us. If you've been listening, thank you for holding it down. What happened was what had happened was, and let me just break it down for you. Chris basically said nobody says the toe in Sacramento, saying the T in Sacramento. But since I am not from here, I thought he was saying nobody calls it the toe. So that's what happened, and then it turned into an inside joke, and now we call it the toe.
Spiraled.
But we are not disrespecting Sacramento.
No,
Chris is loyal to his soil, and I am now loyal to my new soil as I move to the NATO. But I'm not going to go to the NATO.
Yes.
I would not do that as we talk Kings, talk Sacramento, Beam team, and thank you because, Nick, I feel like you are a part of the Beam regime.
Okay.
Yes, the
thank
Beam
you for
regime.
putting your name on your text.
Yes. We love Steven. We love Nick. Whenever you put your name on your text, that's what we love. And we also love Mitch from New Jersey. Let's go to him right now on the phone lines. What's up, Mitch? How you doing on this Friday?
I'm doing quite well. I'm about to feed a big German Shepherd, so beautiful. What I want to say is give Keegan. I mean, the team is good. It's his second year. I mean, you don't expect him to be he's no LeBron, Michael Jordan. He's going to be fine. Just keep playing. Can I give your dog food? Just keep playing your bench and resting everybody. That's what I think.
There we go.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank
Mitch
you,
and
Mitch.
Friends.
Mitch and Co.
Yeah, Mitch and Co.
That's also got you from
shut up.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Exactly.
Mitch and Co. Thank you, Mitch, for the call. And here's the thing.
Get off my guy Keegan.
It is Keegan's second year. It's only his second year.
Yeah.
but how important he is to this team, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
He's really important to this team.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do with that.
I mean, it's more just like what do you want to see from it? I think the big thing is just, again, the percentages aren't there. I think the raw numbers are there. The increase in points per game is there, and even with the bad percentages, like if Keegan were hitting normal percentages right now, it'd probably be at 16 points per game, maybe even more, because his 3-point percentage is for it to be 27% is ridiculous for a guy who takes as many threes as he does. So I just. It's just also a really small sample size. We're at 4 games into this season.
Yeah.
Maybe after 10 or something would probably be a better place to reevaluate, or if we need to reevaluate.
But that's why I said slow start.
Exactly.
I'm not calling it the yips or even a slump. I'm
or
not
a sign of things to come.
I'm not calling
that
that
like that.
any of those things.
Yeah, definitely not. And I think the important thing is, again, just looking at it eye test wise, he's clearly doing things this year that he did not do last year, and he's doing them really well, whether it be guarding Steph Curry or whether it be putting the ball on the deck, or like you said, showing off that runner, or just the ability to finish in the paint in general. I think eye test wise, we have seen him grow. And I think that's what's first and foremost most important to see early in the season. The comfort will come, the stability will come, but right now he is definitely doing things differently than he did last year in an incredibly positive way. So right now, it might not look pretty, but he has made an improvement.
Yes, I would say that as well. And I do think that guy who hit the walk-off runner against the Kings, Klay Thompson, I think that was a comp early. But I think that what I've seen from Keegan, even though the shot hasn't been falling, I think that what I've seen from Keegan these last couple games and just in his second year, I think he's been above that. I think he's been beyond that. And we're talking about a Hall of Famer. We're talking about a Hall of Famer in Klay Thompson. And I even think that I've seen Keegan do some things that Klay didn't do. Now, defensively, will Keegan be what Klay was at his apex? We don't know.
Right.
But he did a darn good job against Steph Curry, right? The difference is, are you able to do that and then be game 6 Keegan Murray, right?
Exactly.
And make those shots.
Yeah.
So that's all a part of his development. You play less games in college, like all of those things. Are still what we're working on in terms of watching Keegan and what he has going on. So we were very excited to see that. We were also very excited to see Davon Mitchell, who we did bold predictions before the game with the Warriors, and somebody on the YouTube chat said, Davon, 20 points. And we thought that was the boldest prediction that we saw. He didn't get to 20, but he did get to 13.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty 13.
It was.
And it was an impactful 13. And defensively, yes, Klay made the shot over him, but he did some good things. Is Davon Mitchell starting to turn the corner?
I think so, especially shooting the basketball. Like, it feels like his shot he's more confident in his jump shot than I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, that first quarter, the first 2 threes he hit, I think it was the first 2 threes of the game, just came off the screen, no hesitation. Like we're talking about with Kevin Huerter, you can't really see Davon thinking. It's all just, I'm going off the screen and I'm going up with the shot. And that's great. It doesn't seem like there's any hitch in his jumper either. And to me, the big thing is, again, just the confidence. I think when it comes to shooting, a lot of these guys are, they've put in the reps. They've put in the practice time, especially Davon Mitchell. Mitchell spends more time in the gym. I know it's a cliche to call these guys gym rats, and you got to pry them out of the gym. Davon Mitchell is truly somebody that you have to forcefully get out of the gym. Coaches in the past have taken keys away from him.
Yeah, you got to
because he will outwork himself. It's incredible. So he's put in the necessary work, and I think it's paid off. I really do think it's paid off in terms of shooting the basketball, and that's a big step for him is just getting to that 36, 37% where, he might not be the world's best facilitator, especially as a backup point guard. But if you can still use him as a player on the offense, even if it is just him as a shooter, what he brings defensively makes him indispensable. So, it's the next logical step in Davion's career was to knock down the 3. It's great to see. You want to see him continue to do it. And if he can, he's going to play a lot of minutes for this team because even though he is, we saw that Klay was able to shoot over him, Davion's still the best guy that they have to throw at people in those kind of situations.
There are not a lot of Klay Thompsons running around. right? That's why he was salty that he wasn't on the top 75 list.
Yes, exactly.
That's why rightfully so. That's why he's going to be a Hall of Famer. So there's not a lot of situations where you're going to find Davion in that specific situation, because in a normal situation, Davion is on Steph.
Yes.
But because Steph was being bothered by the length of Keegan Murray, that's why you move things around. And I still live with the decisions that the coaching staff, Mike Brown and the crew made. Unfortunately, it didn't go that way. But like we talk about, that game that the Kings played, how many teams do they beat with that game? It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. It's about 70% of the league, right? So that is what we love to see. So very excited about Davon Mitchell and what he's bringing to the table. I mean, straight off top, when the game started, there was a shot, and it didn't rattle in, but it kind of rolled in, that first 3-pointer that he made, and that was very early in the game. And that set the tone to say, you guys can't help off me.
Yep.
You can if you want, but I'm going to burn you. That's my mentality, and I'm going to make sure that there's nobody on this court for the Kings that you cannot guard.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it.
Yeah, and I think that's a message that's been sent to not just Davion, but everybody. Again, like Coach Brown has been on Keegan even. If they go under on a screen, shoot the ball now.
We're pulling.
Get the ball out of your hands as quick as possible. And I think, like you said, I think that same rule applies to Davion. I think Mike Brown has now told Davion that if guys go under screens, make them pay. Make them go over the screen on you and try and work through it, because you're a capable enough shooter. And I think he's also told De'Aaron Fox that with the amount of threes we've seen De'Aaron take early in this season, he kind of does have a tendency to take a lot of threes early in the year.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been a big talking point in general for Mike Brown. He talked about it a lot last year, but it feels like he's really been harping on it this year with everybody. If you're open, shoot the ball.
Yeah.
We run this offense. We run people around screens. We, run people all around the court to get an open shot.
Yeah.
Do not pass open the open shot. That's what we worked for.
Right. And if you don't shoot, we got a guy.
Yep. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. When he pulled Sasha up over there to take Keegan out, it's like, Keegan, you're probably our best shooter, but even you can get replaced.
Yeah. Anybody can get swapped out if you are not ready to shoot the ball. If you are not ready to contribute to this team, you can't
Offense
be
or
scared.
defense,
And that is why, going back to, and I know the Kings play tomorrow so we can move forward, but that is why I am really curious if Mike Brown had a conversation with Kevin Huerter, because passing up the rock in open shot situations for Davion, and Davion, I wouldn't say he ever had necessarily a hot hand. I think he made some open shots, but I wouldn't say, when somebody gets hot and let's just feed it to him because he's
blazing
on fire,
exactly.
right? Shout out NBA Jam. I don't think there was anything like that. So to me, Kevin Huerter, we got to have a conversation.
He should never pass open a shot. No, Kevin, especially, Kevin should. That again is another sign that he's clearly in his head, because every single time Kevin Huerter should feel like it doesn't matter if I'm passing to Malik, it doesn't matter if I'm passing to Keegan. If I have the open look, I have the green light.
Yes.
And Kevin's got to take those opportunities, much like we talk about Harrison Barnes a lot.
Right.
Like it applies to everybody else as well. Like you have to feel like you have to have some sort of ego. Like there's a reason why Russell Westbrook is so great. And there's a reason why he's also in the situation he's in.
Right.
Because his ego is so massive that he just always feels like I can make an impact on this game for better or for worse. And I think every NBA player needs to channel some bit
Klay
of
Thompson. People get on Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
He says shoot or shoot.
Yep.
Klay will go 2 for 40, but if he gets that ball, it's going up.
It's going up.
And if it's up, it's up. So
and you got to live with the result.
You got to live with the result.
Because he can do exactly what he did the other night, where he has 12 points in the game, but you need him to take the most important shot. No problem.
Right.
No
and it's the most important one. Got to get to a break. When we get back, switching over to a little bit of football talk, as everybody's favorite talking head, I won't say who that is because that's a tease right there, talks about benching Brock Purdy. That and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year. All-stars and all NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He stopped the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916, Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins, taking you up to 2 p.m. 7th official show. And if you don't know, now you know. You know. On this Friday, fun day, a football Friday, as we get into some football. But first, we wanted to talk about something because I thought it was interesting when you discuss Davon Mitchell and where he was picked and what he will become. Mm-hmm. And I think you've been a little tough on him.
I agree.
In regards to, he was an ninth. Yeah, he was a ninth pick. He was a ninth pick in the draft, right? So a lottery guy. But as I go through this list, I got a name for you, and I don't want to trigger you on a Friday. We've been doing very well. We got through.
What are you going to do?
We got through yesterday, which I thought would be very contentious after.
If we're talking about lottery picks and you're talking about triggering me, I'm very afraid.
This is the 2021 draft?
No. We're going through them all.
Okay.
And the year is 2018.
Oh, my God.
And the pick is number 2. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Why are we doing this?
Because we have to. If we're going to talk about lottery picks and if you're going to hold Davon accountable, then you got to talk about Marvin Bagley.
I don't see why.
No, you have to.
Tell me why.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's a lottery. How many people have hit in the lottery? I've played it before. If I hit, I probably would still be here because I love doing this, but I wouldn't have to be here, right? Because it's a lottery. And a lottery means that there's a chance. There is a chance that this person will be good. And if you look at this is from randomly 2018, Marvin Bagley III, you are the second pick in the draft. And I don't even know where that man is.
He's in Detroit. We got him for Trey Lyles. That's where Marvin Bagley's at right now.
If I saw him walking down the street and I saw like Kiki Palmer, I wouldn't know a thing.
You want to know what Marvin Bagley's doing right now?
What is he doing?
He's fighting for his life for minutes with James Wiseman.
Another
lottery pick.
Another
lottery pick.
So if we're talking about Davion, and you could even take this to the Trey Lances because it's a football Friday. How many guys do we see and we're thinking this could be the dude, this could be the situation? And honestly, man, it's just a gamble.
Sure.
I put 20 on 4 on roulette and I hope it hits. You know how many times it hits?
Yeah.
Never.
Sure. And I mean that's the part with Davion that I try to keep focus on is you took him 9th, which is a lottery pick, and he's a point guard. And I wouldn't say he's at this moment in time, a starter quality guard. But at the same time, you could also take somebody who is just completely out of the league. Because like you're saying, it's a lottery in so many senses of, hey, this guy could be changing your franchise with Giannis was a 13th, 14th pick or whatever. It could be this guy's a starter for you. He's nothing special, but he's good.
Mm-hmm.
He can be a role player, or he can just be completely out of the league garbage. And the fact, I think with a lottery pick or with any pick really, you're just hoping for a playable player. And
Right.
it realistically does fall at any pick. Like it's not just Marvin Bagley. You know, the NBA has a history of Anthony Bennett's and Hashim Thabit.
Oh, we're gonna go through them.
Greg Oden's and Killian Hayes's and
we got
all Josh Jackson's and things like that. Markelle Fultz even. There's tons of players who even at the top of the draft don't work out. And so I do feel like it is a little bit unfair sometimes for me to kind of criticize Davion the way I do for
at least
his
he's
draft pick,
playable.
because at least he's playable.
That's a totally fair point. I mean, the teams who picked after Marvin Bagley probably didn't get anything out of it, right?
Oh,
well, I'm looking here, and you know,
Right?
Yeah, right.
Well,
Because
Luka
after
Doncic,
Marvin, it was
Jaren-
just,
all right,
it
well,
was just
so
bad
okay,
after
that's
Marvin,
not
right?
fair.
Luka Doncic, Jaren Jackson Jr., Trae Young.
Those guys all suck.
Mo Bamba. But then you get down to the 9th pick. You got Kevin Knox, who's no longer in the league, right? Or he's hanging
No, I
around.
don't
He
think
just
he
got
is.
released.
I don't think he is in the
Here's
league,
here's my question.
Damn, that's
if
crazy.
you talk about good jobs, or I don't want to say easy jobs, because everybody's job is tough, but it's got to be one of the easiest jobs in the world being an NBA scout, right? If you hit, you hit. If you miss, what would you rather be? Honestly, what would you rather be? 916-339-1140. YouTube chat's going crazy right now. Call line, text line. What's an easier job? A scout or a weatherman?
They're just throwing strays out there.
No, I'm
Definitely
just saying.
weatherman.
If you're right, you're
Definitely
right.
weatherman.
If you're wrong,
I could be a weatherman right now. I can go on the Weather Channel right now, and if you give me 15, 20 minutes, I can put together a
it's
nice
going to be cold,
presentation.
then it's going to get hot.
It's going to be 67, then it's going to be 68. We got rain up here in Sacramento down
Predicting
here.
weather is way more of an exact science than NBA
But
player
is it, though?
evaluation.
He
They're
also
wrong
said
all the time.
weatherman, not meteorologist. So
Weather person. But is it, though?
Yeah, but
They're wrong all the time.
But think about NBA, or like, let's take the NBA
but you're
for
close
example.
with weather. It's not like you're saying, "Oh my gosh, it's going to be 80 degrees today," and then it snows. Like there's a
NBA
chance with the
No,
NBA,
yeah.
you're like, "This guy's going to be a star," and then he never is.
But
never
it's
does
a
anything.
lottery. I'm sorry.
These
I tried.
teams are investing millions
Yeah.
and millions of dollars of resources into a super inexact science. And I think you're right. The science is closer to being accurate than it's ever been before for evaluating players, but it's still a super inexact science.
Yeah.
You want to know who the 4th pick in the 2019 draft was? DeAndre Hunter.
Yes.
Is that scout still in the league? Is that scout still
What's
scouting?
wrong with that? Like, I mean, he's playing. You know, like, because like my thing is, every scout in the world is going to say, take Zion Williamson number 1
Yeah,
with a bullet.
Zion
Absolutely.
went 1, Ja went 2,
Exactly.
RJ Barrett went 3, DeAndre Hunter went 4, Darius Garland went 5. Is the scout who drafted Jarrett Culver, number
He
6
shouldn't
from
be.
Texas Tech,
Yeah, that
is
should
he
not be.
still in the league? How about Kobe White, number 7 for the Bulls?
The Bulls fired everyone.
I mean, there's reasons behind all of these, though. Like, you know, it's not like that's why being a scout is so hard, though, is because sometimes
Is it hard or is it really easy?
I think it's tough. I think especially with just the systems that we have in, like, all you have to go off of is college basketball performances, and college basketball is definitely not the NBA. Sometimes it's really tough to see a guy do Jimmer Fredette. It's great to see him do so well in college, but you know, maybe Jimmer's not the right example, but like how can you say, okay, Jimmer's going to be bad, but Buddy Hield's going to be good, and Trae Young's going to be good, and I don't know who's somebody else who put up ridiculous stats in college. You know, like all 3 of those guys all put up ridiculous numbers, but had very different levels of NBA career so far.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how you're supposed to kind of siphon through that without, I mean, it's just like you have to have an eye.
Dougie
for talent. It's
McBuckets.
just really
Don't forget
tough.
Dougie McBuckets.
Doug McDermott's somebody who, I for sure would have thought would have been in the NBA.
A lot of it's development too, because like Jokic only works because they make him the center of that offense, right? If he's in any other situation, it doesn't look like this.
But he is the system, a la James Harden. We're going to talk about James Harden.
No thanks.
Yeah, we have to. We have no choice. Okay, how about the scout that drafted Patrick Williams or James Wiseman? Why don't we get Kevin Dana back on the line? Who drafted James Wiseman, number 2, okay, and did not take LaMelo Ball, and I will always say
But
that
those
was
are
a
also
mistake.
GMs as well. You know,
Yeah.
scouts are one thing; it's the GMs who have to make the ultimate.
How about Isaac Okoro, number 5 in 2020? Where is he?
He's a role player.
Cleveland is a classic case of like we hit some, we missed some, right? Like they got Okoro with the 5 pick and Darius Garland with the 5 pick.
Yeah, Patrick Williams, number 4. As we go to 2021, this should be good. Cade Cunningham, I haven't heard his name since the draft.
He hurt his shin last year, but he's balling. I'm
Wear
a
shin
big
guard.
Cade guy.
Go to Big 5 and get a shin guard.
Put up 30 points the other day.
Wearing a shin
great.
guard is
Outstanding.
crazy.
So did Jordan Poole on Shaqtin' the Fool. Come on, what are we talking
That's
about?
not the same.
Jalen Green on the Rockets. Okay, shout out Jalen Green. He was in Napa, so we love
So
him
he's
NorCal, guys.
fine.
So he's fine.
No shit.
Evan Mobley, that's a hit. Scotty Barnes, that's a hit. Jalen Suggs, can't really stay on the floor.
Yeah.
Right?
I might rather have Davon Mitchell than Jalen Suggs.
We're getting close. Yeah, it's close.
And
It's
Jalen
definitely
Suggs was number 5. Josh Giddey, that's a hit. Kuminga, pretty sure that's a hit. Franz Wagner, that's a hit. And this is the Davion draft.
Yep.
This is the Davion draft. And after Davion, Zaire Williams.
I mean, it's a very inexact science, but again, it's pretty random. You never know. Like Kyle said, it is a big part of development, plays a big key in it as well. All you can really do when you're drafting somebody is just look at their traits and try and figure out if it's, if you're able to expand on it. Is it just that's the player you are and there's not another level to it? It's really almost impossible to try and figure out, but that's why
That's why they get paid
the big bucks.
Yeah,
That's
that's why they eventually don't.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they have such a short shelf life.
I'm in a black hole now because I just got to keep going. Like you said, Josh Jackson, Phoenix Suns,
that's a really
out of
bad
Kansas, number 4, 4th pick in the draft.
Yep.
Where are you now,
in
Markelle?
front of De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, Markelle Fultz famously or infamously got picked to the 76ers. He was the first pick in that draft.
Remember when people said that was the deepest draft class of all time with Fultz, Lonzo Ball, Tatum,
you got
Jackson,
Jonathan
and Fox?
Isaac, who has had a bunch of injuries, De'Aaron Fox, Lauri Markkanen.
Took a couple places to eventually get to where he wanted to go.
Dennis Smith Jr. was supposed to be a guy.
Yep.
So I don't know. Malik Monk, actually. Okay, here's a good question. Malik Monk, solid 6-man now.
Yeah.
Right? He went, he tried to ball out. Now he has been a really good spark off the bench. Malik Monk, 11th pick in the 2017 draft. Would you call that a hit or a miss?
It's an absolute hit. Well, the problem is it's a miss for the team that took him because the Charlotte Hornets took him and it never worked out for him in Charlotte because, frankly, I mean, if you watched Malik in college, you would have thought Malik Monk was going to be
the guy.
Donovan Mitchell. Yeah. Exactly. And
who you don't like either.
I do not a Donovan Mitchell guy at all. And so, yeah, I mean, that's also to Kyle's point. Again, it's all about development sometimes as well, where you clearly guessed right on the talent, Michael Jordan. Good job. You took Malik Monk.
Yeah.
He ended up being a really good player if you fast forward 6 or 7 years, but you didn't have the infrastructure to make it work with you. And so I guess it's a miss of a draft pick if you're a Hornets guy, but Malik Monk, the prospect, if you look back at it now, that's a hit.
Yeah.
But that's also what makes it so tough is sometimes it is situational and it's, it really doesn't have much to do with, it has just as much to do with where the talent goes than the talent themselves.
Right.
Like Kyle said with Jokic, it's the same thing.
If
talent doesn't go to the right location to help it foster a nurturing environment, then it's going to die.
Yeah.
So,
Good point. All right, got to get to a break. More of your calls, more of your texts, more of your chat when we get back. Switching over to football on this Football Friday. Nick Wright. Yeah, that's the guy. I know you got the nickname Nick wrong. A lot of you don't love him. He's got some words about benching Brock Purdy. That and much more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Good Guys Heating and Cooling has a deal going on right now that you cannot miss. This summer was much shorter and cooler than normal, so that means Good Guys is overstocked and ready to clear out their warehouse. They've got inflation-busting pricing on a brand new heating and air system for just $82.99. No other company is offering a replacement system that low. Call Good Guys now at 530-GOOD-AIR to see if you qualify. That's 530-GOOD-AIR for a no-cost qualification appointment. Best service, best price, guaranteed. And that's no bull. License number 1057-618.
This could be the start of a break-in.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Or the end of one.
Police are on their way.
Introducing the latest innovation in home security. 24/7 live guard protection, only from Simply Safe. Now, agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines. Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings play at the Houston Rockets tomorrow night, and De'Aaron Fox might have a chance to play Saturday or Monday after spraining his ankle last Sunday. You can hear from Fox in Brennan Nunez's latest story up right now at SactownSports.com. Our coverage of Kings versus Rockets tips off at 3:30 tomorrow. G-Man on call at 5 o'clock p.m. The NBA in-season tournament begins tonight with 7 games slated. Only one game in the Kings Group C. That is the Golden State Warriors playing the Oklahoma City Thunder. And in football, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Tennessee Titans 20-16 last night. The Steelers are 5-3 this year, despite the fact they've been outgained in yards in all 8 games this year and have the 23rd ranked offense in the NFL. Mike Tomlin is a wizard. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Now let's return to more of Stiles and Watkins.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
We are back, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, on a Friday fun day, NFL Friday, Football Friday, whatever you want to call it, taking you up to 2 p.m. We will be joined by the Drive guys at 1:45, as always, for a little bit of crosstalk.
Only one Drive guy today.
Only one Drive guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Kyle Draper's on his way to Houston, so Jerry Reynolds will be here today.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
In the building. And I'm feeling like,
I have not been able to meet Jerry. You probably don't even know who Jerry Reynolds is, do you?
I do now.
Wow, this is a treat. See, this is a treat. So Jerry Reynolds is, I don't even know if there's like a comparison. Kyle, could you think of like a other team, do other teams have a guy like Jerry?
I don't think someone who's done as many versatile roles as Jerry. Like, there's people who like embody the organization, but not Jerry doing like 4
Every
different jobs.
Like, he's literally been the head coach in the 80s, I believe, late 80s, early 90s. He was the GM for a year or two. He was an assistant coach when Bill Russell was their coach. He was the Sacramento Monarchs GM. He's got his number up in the or GM up in the rafters,
right?
For GMing that championship Monarchs team. He was a broadcaster. He did the broadcast for probably my entire childhood, so 15, 20 years. And now he's got every time you walk through the Golden One Center media entrance, it's the Jerry Reynolds media entrance. So
that's right.
This is a true legend.
So
will
it's
be in our presence
Whitey
today.
and Jerry.
Yes, it'll be Whitey and Jerry in studio today.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Outstanding.
Yes, this is
So
a very good day for you.
Yes, you want to look out for that. You also want to look out for Hunter Patterson, NBA writer for The Athletic. That is at 1:15 on the chat, on the text line, 916, talking about our conversation about drafting and is being a scout hard or is it actually easy? The 916. This is the most hindsight is 2020 convo ever. Being a scout is hard. But that's the argument. That is my whole argument. And the whole reason we had the conversation was because of Davon Mitchell being picked number 9 and whether we should hold him to that or not. And when you go through these names and some of these guys drafted earlier than Davon in other drafts and even in that draft that aren't even in the league anymore. Nihao, as Shaq says, you got to go over the Shanghai Tigers, okay?
Sharks. Shanghai
the
Sharks.
Shanghai Sharks. No disrespect.
Guangdong Tigers, Shanghai Sharks.
There you go.
Come on.
So Davon Mitchell, I have to call it a hit because he is a playable NBA player.
Yeah.
You just have no clue. So you are right, 916. It is a hindsight conversation, but that is the question. Is it difficult to be a scout? I feel like you bounce around, but all you need is one hit.
Yeah.
You could be a one-hit wonder.
Oh, yeah.
You could be Fetty Wap in 2016. I like, mannequin, baby. You know what I mean?
Wonder what he's up to now.
Dude, I was just going to
know.
say the last story I heard about Fetty Wap
It was a crazy story.
It was that he was riding a bike and he got hit by a car, and obviously Fetty Wap only has one eye, so it was like.
You should probably Google him right now.
I don't think I should.
It sounds like a Fournier Google. I'm good. I'm not.
It's not Fournier, but you should probably read into what he's been up to the last 3 years.
Wow. I mean, we will get into it.
Let's just say
that and more.
Let's just
Stiles
say
and Watkins, Sactown Sports. All right, let's switch over to football for a little bit on this Football Friday as we talk about everybody's favorite talking head, Nick Wright, as a lot of people like to call him Snape. I like to call him Snape from Harry Potter.
Where did dude get his hair from?
Yeah,
I remember 4 years ago, Nick Wright was bald and
better hair comeback.
Not choice
Nick
bald.
Wright or LeBron.
Ooh. Well, I feel like they're one and the same. I feel like, Nick Wright is known as a big LeBron stan, so I feel like he probably found out
where
exactly.
He's the same guy.
I'd probably say Nick Wright because LeBron's never fully came back. Remember when he had the Wu-Tang in his head?
No, he came back though.
He tries to come back after every summer because he clearly gets something done during the summertime to kind of fill fill his hair, and he's probably not sweating as much. So maybe things are. I don't know. I just hypothesizing here. But I would say Nick Wright because that dude does have the full Severus Snape haircut. Right?
No, yeah, he's been rocking the lock. So here is Nick Wright talking about Brock Purdy and what's going on with the Niners.
Is it on the board that at some point this year Brock Purdy gets benched? Of course. Just so we know that this is not me being unfair. Any quarterback across modern NFL history, if you were on a universally accepted as stacked team, that is an SBOB team, that is an unproven quarterback whose backup, the head coach, to your guys' point that you guys fell all over yourselves, make a big deal of, spoke glowingly about, calling him Steve Young, who, by the way, did once upon a time replace an actual legend. If you are in the midst of a 4-5 game losing streak, of course, your job is in jeopardy. Well, we're 3 games into it. Next week, they are a 2-point favorite. 2-point favorite in Jacksonville. We can show you their schedule. If you don't think that if this thing tailspins for the night and 5-0 turns into 6-5, that there is not going to be real discussion about Sam Darnold.
Well, Grant Cohn asked Kyle Shanahan a couple days ago about whether he would think about everything Grant Cohn does is boldly.
Capital B.
Capital B, all caps, and in bold text.
It might even be italicized.
Exactly. We got to have the italicization, right? If that's even a word, right? We're going to make it up now. Yeah, so he asked Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan said no.
He said
very plainly,
not even considering.
And everybody knows Grant Cohn there, and whether you like him or you love him or you hate him, that Niners team, they know very well who he is. So Kyle Shanahan knew who the question was coming from, and he just told Grant no. Yeah. And it very plainly and very simply, he said, no, we're not. There's no change coming. And, you know, man, as we sit here and we talked about it a little bit yesterday about Daniel Jones and the bag he got, Marvin Bagley. I'm going to use that now.
Go ahead. In your Marvin Bagley.
I'm in my Marvin Bagley era. Yeah. Well, actually, not era, but I got the Marvin Bagley.
That era is so far gone.
That era is very far gone. But, you know, you talk about Daniel Jones. Uh-huh. You talk about what's going on with the Bears and how I thought I had something because I was a Justin Fields guy. I still believe maybe things would have worked out if the Niners took him, but it's not looking good now. The guy can't even stay on the field when you run around like that. Not very surprising. When you look at Zach Wilson, all from the same draft, Zach Wilson, complete mess. I mean, he is the equivalent of a batting practice all-star. He had he was in shorts. The best quarterback we've ever seen, a la Jamarcus Russell, throwing 80 from his knees, all those good things. And now you look here and you go back to Brock Purdy and what he's been able to do. And I know he's got all pros all around him. And I know he's got a pretty darn good defense all around him. But Brock Purdy, he I don't know if he's the guy, but he is the guy right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm talking with my buddy last night, and he said this is why they should have kept Trey Lance. To keep him around, and we discussed that's why they got rid of Trey Lance.
Exactly.
To not have these conversations. And Sam Darnold, I know he's got arm talent.
No.
I know he does.
I mean, he does. No, I was going to say no. Like I don't want to hear this.
But
I just don't want to hear the Sam Darnold is more than qualified of being a star.
Right. And you know what? A lot of different things happen throughout the preseason. Should we care about what we saw in the preseason, or should we not? All I can say is when Sam Darnold came in the game in the preseason. He did look good, but it did look different.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely
still did not look as calm, cool, collected.
Not as Brock. Yeah. It looked better than, because at the time we were comparing to Trey.
It looked better than Trey.
Yeah.
Right, which it should because he's been in the league. So when I look at what I saw with Sam Darnold during the preseason, because that's all I have to go off of,
for sure.
And he's seeing ghosts. Shout out Casper. Dia de los Muertos. I know we're moved on now, and Halloween. Shout out to all of that. But I don't want to see Sam Darnold right now. Okay, I think Brock Purdy has played well. I know it's going to sound a bit weird saying up until the fourth quarter, because that's when it matters. And we showed the graphic. Kyle Shanahan won in about 36 when trailing by 3 or more entering the third quarter, which is a little misleading because that stat doesn't say if you lost a lead in the fourth and came back, right? So it's a little misleading, but people have questions about Brock and who he could be. I don't want to see Sam Darnold. Do you want to see Sam Darnold?
No, I don't want to see Sam Darnold. There's no reason because at Sam Darnold's best, I think he looks as good as Brock Purdy looked in the first couple weeks. Now, if the question is Brock is just terrible and not looking like he can ever return to that guy, then the conversation is okay to have. But I don't think that conversation is coming up in what Nick Wright said 6-5. So that's not coming up in the next 3 weeks. There's no way that I don't think it's fair to lose confidence that quickly in Brock Purdy just because he's had however many games, 4 or 5 bad games in a row. I think you gotta
bad quarters, really.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it hasn't even been a totality of bad games. Like that Vikings game, it was only bad in the fourth quarter. We've seen him put together good performances, move the ball. That Browns game, he moved the ball, put them in field goal range. Jake Moody didn't make the kick. So it hasn't even been, like you said, it hasn't been a full game of a bad performance. And I don't think that much like what we talk about with Kevin Huerter, I don't know if a couple bad games or a string of bad games should lead you to make this wholesale decision of pretty much giving up on this guy just because he's had a rough go of things. I think it's part of the game. It's part of playing. It's playing through it. And if it truly gets to the point where, maybe the Niners are 6-6, or if it gets to the point where they're under 500.
Right. And to be fair, that's what he was saying. If they're 6-5, maybe you
start
revisit.
to you revisit. But even then, it's like it's got to look so bad, and it has to be so singularly Brock Purdy's fault. I just don't see it ever getting to that point. And who knows? Maybe in 3 weeks, I'll look back on this and be like, what an idiot I was. But I just don't think that Sam Darnold there's no there's no high
You don't
reward
see the Geno
with,
Smith.
Yeah, I don't see a
They
high
read me
reward
off. I didn't
with-
write back though.
with Sam Darnold. I just don't see it. I think we know what he is, and I think everyone's just kind of hoping for stability at this point and hoping that Sam can be the one to do it. But I don't see why he's any more qualified to bring stability than Brock, and I would much rather go with the evil I know than the evil I don't.
Yeah, the devil you know is better than the devil you
Exactly.
don't. Got to get to a break. When we get back, talking James Harden, as we talked yesterday about the lack of self-awareness from Draymond Green. It's a battle of self-awareness or lack thereof when it comes to James Harden. I am the system. That and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches in my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said, I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple of people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around the store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store. Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville. Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports' IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com and sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's film at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
It's Carmichael Day with a Fire Wings announcement. The Floor and Road location now serves pizza, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Don't forget the Wings Day Wednesday lineup, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. You got 21 delicious flavors to choose from and the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Save time and order online. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, and earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
We are back. Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. as we talk all things Kings, talk all things Niners on this Football Friday. A text coming in from the 279. Where is that?
I was just about to ask you that. 279 area code is, it's apparently the new Sacramento area code.
So the 916 is no more?
I believe I remember hearing about this. The 916, it's been, I believe they've ran out of numbers. if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. I probably
Interesting.
am, but Sacramento is now. So many of you Bay Area folk have moved over here now, taking up all our.
They're not
our
changing
good
phone numbers.
Okay,
they're not changing. When is the last time someone changed their phone number?
That's a great question, because every time, especially nowadays, when you get the new phone, it's not because. Back in the day, it's like when you had to get the new cell phone.
Yeah.
A lot of the time that meant new number.
I've had the
switching
same
from
number
Sprint to
for
Verizon.
years.
Yeah.
I mean, decades. Right. And I had remember the slider, the phone that slid up.
The chocolate and stuff.
Yeah. I had all that same number, but this is from the 279.
Shout out New Sacks.
Shout out New Sack. The new toe. I'm in the NATO. Okay.
So does that mean if I do ever get my phone number changed, it's going to say 279 now?
Yes, sir. That's what I think.
Interesting. So I won't even get a 916.
No, you will not. No.
Pick up sticks. I was at opening night from the 279. I was at opening night. It really hit home since they are Warriors colors. Can you guys start a movement to change Golden One's colors? That is from Ann Foon
No. Ann Fong is also another ad that uses Warrior colors as well. The Ann Fong. Yes, they have it at Warrior games as well. The Something Wrong, Call Ann Fong.
Oh, yes. They
have that at the Kings games as well. And
Right.
she uses, I think she just changed it this year, but she used
279 said she had King's colors and it looked good.
Yes, she just changed it this year.
And
This is
just
such,
so everybody knows,
such a specific,
right? Give you
So
a look
niche.
behind the curtain. Rather, when texts come in that are long or longer, they come in twos.
Yes.
So we have to read them and we have to try to decipher where everything is. It's not
like a
just so you
puzzle
know.
almost,
So we saw one yesterday. I felt like I was in National Treasure. I felt like I was Nicolas Cage. I figured out how things were supposed to
decode it,
fit.
yeah.
Yes, I decoded the text. So and you know what? It's not a bad text, because I did think that rolling up to Golden One, being from the Bay Area, I thought these kind of look like Warriors colors. Is that crazy?
No, well, okay. So can I just say this also? I don't know if you've realized this, but every University of California school has the same colors. They all incorporate blue and yellow think about University of Cal, UCLA.
You're talking about UCs.
UCs, I'm sorry. Yes.
Not Cal State.
I'm sorry. Yes, not the Cal States. I'm sorry. All of the UCs use blue and yellow. And so I believe it is a California color scheme.
He is correct about this. You're giving him skeptical face. It is correct.
Well, because I'm trying to go through
Riverside,
Santa Cruz.
All the UCs are blue and gold.
UC San Diego, they're all blue and gold.
Yep.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, and so Golden One being technically it's more of a Sacramento-based credit union, but I if I had to guess, that's where they got their color scheme from, is being California forward.
Interesting.
But the point still stands that they definitely should switch it up a little
Also,
bit.
Twitter people complained right before the playoffs last year and changed the colors specifically in Golden One Center because Carmichael Dave and some Twitter people complained about it.
More specifically, Carmichael Dave.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've got some power here, but yeah. Shout out Ann Fong for being really quick about that.
Shout out.
Too.
I thought the text was from Ann Fong.
Yeah, I know. I was like, whoa. I know we're doing well so far early in the show, but I don't know if we getting that big of a
It could be.
already,
You never know.
you know?
Wow, that is interesting. Now I'm going through other UCs. Well, they're not that many, right?
No, there's 8 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. UC Davis.
Yep.
Which, by the way, Davis kind of does blue and white now. They're kind of like trendy and moving away from the gold.
Okay, UC Davis, Cal, obviously.
Yep.
UCLA.
Wow, UCLA.
UC San Diego.
The Tritons.
Yeah.
They are
UC
blue.
Irvine.
Irvine.
Are they blue?
They are.
Yep.
All of these are blue.
Santa Barbara. Gauchos are blue and
Wow.
yellow.
Merced.
Blue.
Yeah.
UCSF is
Do they have
UCSF
sports?
is kind of like a half UC. It kind of counts. We're missing one. Santa Cruz.
Yes.
Banana
Santa
slugs
Barbara is
are blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow, yeah.
I would have guessed they're green, but
nope. Banana slugs it's a yellow slug with a blue background.
wow. Incredible.
Yep. So there you go.
learn something new every day.
You really do. You really do.
That is nuts.
So at least Golden One has an excuse, but they should
Well,
really
Golden
just
One's
make it
not a
white.
UC.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's a good point.
So
I think they're
not a banana slug.
Now the question is, should they make a company-wide change based off of this one sponsorship?
Yeah, I mean, you got the beam going.
Yeah.
But the golden one just looks like Warriors colors.
Especially because Anne Fong also is a Giants sponsor, and she changes it to orange and black for the Giants, but doesn't do it for the Kings.
Until Force.
She did. She did.
Yeah, it's now purple and I think it's purple and silver is now.
Wow.
In the arena.
My mind is blown with that whole UC thing.
Yeah.
Because I pride myself on knowing a lot about schools.
Do you know this is a little bit more of like a well-known pop culture, or trivia, sports trivia? Do you know the sports city that shares the same colors?
Well,
with
that's
all their
Pittsburgh.
teams? Right.
That's an easy one.
That's an easy one.
He's a Pennsylvania guy, Chris.
I'm a Pennsylvania guy.
I forgot.
By the way, while we are talking all things black and yellow, I actually made a remix when at Kenyatta College, shout out Redwood City, called Green and Yellow, because those were our colleges. It's not on YouTube. You can't find it anywhere.
You sure?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I didn't post it.
I'm going to look for it.
And I said green and yellow, and it was about rounding bases and playing baseball.
Is this like the equivalent of like Steph Curry's "I Love College" video?
I would like to think there's no video. It's just a song.
Keep saying that.
There's no video.
I feel like there's a video.
Not that I don't recall. There was no video that was made. It's just a song, right? But I kind of had bars. So the 916 chiming in, USC. USC is not a University of California school.
Yes.
That's a private school.
Yes, sir.
You went to Cranbrook. That's a private school. Exactly. Right? University of, they call it University of Spoiled Children.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
USC, that would be the same as Stanford. Also a private school.
State.
In Sac State.
Yeah.
State schools also not a part of it. Stingers up, as Chris said, Stingers down, because he does not like Sac State. And if they were in March Madness, he would not watch. That's what he said. Even if they were in the Final Four, he wouldn't watch. So, there's just a lot going on, right? As we get to a break, when we get back, we're talking all things NBA in-season tournament. Do you care? Or do you not? More of your calls, more of your texts on this Friday fun day. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season?
Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995?
Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figuerella, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning or afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings play the Houston Rockets tomorrow night at 5 o'clock p.m. De'Aaron Fox may have a chance to play Saturday or Monday after spraining his ankle last Sunday. You can hear from Fox and Brennan Nunez's latest story up right now at SactownSports.com. Our coverage of Kings versus Rockets will tip off at 3:30 tomorrow with G-Man on call at 5 o'clock p.m. The NBA in-season tournament begins tonight with 7 games kicking off. There's only one game in Group C. The Golden State Warriors will play against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Those are your headlines. Now let's return for hour number 3 of Stiles and Watkins.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
We are back. Green and yellow, green and yellow. It's a little something for everybody. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Thank you for rocking with us. If you've been rocking with us, if you're just joining us, thank you for joining as we talk all things as everybody. And we want to line your calls up 916-339-1140. Do you care about the in-season tournament, right? If the Kings won the in-season tournament, are you moved?
Tripping. Yes, we're throwing a parade.
A parade, though.
You're tripping.
We're
probably not throwing a parade, but we're
unofficial
doing
one. The Kings aren't doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
1,000%. There will
Sactown Sports parade.
There will be
down Commerce.
A march down K Street for sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right.
Probably stopping at the Capitol.
Why don't you break down what's going on at the in-season? Because I think a lot of people have questions.
Yeah, of course.
There's jerseys coming out. There's courts coming out.
That's the coolest
What's
part.
going on with the in-season tournament?
Yeah, so this is obviously the first year the NBA is going to try and make this thing work. I'm actually pretty excited just to see the execution of it and to see the reception of it as well. Right now, we are still in the group stage of things, which is, of course, the first stage of things. All 30 NBA teams have been brought into groups of 5 within their conference based on the win-loss record of last year. So the Kings are with the Warriors, the OKC Thunder, the Spurs, and help me out, somebody else. Is that it? Somebody else as well. I can't remember. Timberwolves. That's what it is. Timberwolves. Yes. And that's all based off of last year's standings. And they will now go into group play where they will essentially play each other. It'll be one game against each of those 4 opponents. And there will be 2 at home, 2 on the road. There will be independent courts that will be used only for in-season tournament play. That'll be interesting because they're a lot more colored and stuff like that. But at the end of this, you move on to the knockout stage, which will be the winner of all 6 groups plus 2 wildcard teams, which will be selected by whoever has the best record in each conference. So it will not be, whatever. It's self-explanatory. The 2 best teams who aren't already qualified in each conference will make it over to the knockout stage. Knockout stage is a single elimination tournament. The final 4 will be held in Las Vegas on Monday, December 4th and December 5th. And then the championship will be, I believe, at the end of that week. And then we will have just like every other tournament, we will have a winner. There will be an MVP of the tournament. There will be an all-conference or an all-tournament team.
Yeah.
There will also be cash rewards given out to every team that makes the knockout stage. And then the further and further you go, obviously, the more and more money the players will earn. I believe every member of the winning team is going to be earning $500,000. So, that doesn't really hold the same weight for Steph Curry as it would for Gary Payton II. So that'll be an interesting wrinkle to kind of see, maybe sometimes Kessler Edwards will be giving a whole lot more effort, or will be clapping a whole lot harder on the bench because obviously he'll want to win just as much as anybody else. And so, it's going to be interesting to see the Kings play their first tournament game. What will that be? Next Friday, I believe, against the Oklahoma City Thunder. They don't play today, but there is, like Kyle said in his update, there will be one Group C matchup today, which is the group the Kings are in, and that'll be the Golden State Warriors against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Wow. And I believe our own Whitey Gleason has the Kings winning.
Yes, sir.
The in-season tournament, beating the Atlanta Hawks. And Trae Young off to a bit of a slow start. And Kyle was getting on me earlier about DeAndre Hunter and giving him a stray. Wow. Hey, I'm just saying, they're just names, right? And maybe it's because I don't frequent Atlanta
DeAndre
Hawks
Hunter
basketball.
is still the third best player on a team that was the 7 seed in the East last year.
Right.
You better get to know him. Okay?
You better get to know him. DeAndre Hunter is not in the same conversation as some of the other guys that we have talked about. Cough, cough. Marvin Bagley III. Cough, cough.
Stop it.
We will stop talking about him. I promise.
Thomas
you.
Robinson.
There's just a lot of names. So we're gonna
Giorgos Papagiannis.
We're going to move forward from that. But it is, I feel like the in-season tournament is one of those things where everybody's going to say they don't care. But once things get going and once everything is percolating and all that jazz, you're going to care, right? If it's,
I think
don't
once
even know
this
if
thing
it's
gets to the
possible,
knockouts,
right? If it's Kings Lakers or Kings Warriors and it's winner goes to the next round. So here's my question. Once you get to that tournament, and I believe it's
the knockout stage,
stage, that does not count for those are extra games.
All of these count towards your records. There will only be two teams will play 83 games this year, and those are the two teams in the championship game.
That is so interesting.
So when they released the schedule this year, they only released 80 official games. So every team still has 2 games left on their schedule that they don't know who they're going to be playing and when they will exactly be playing them.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's kind of the weird, interesting wrinkle in this that I still don't fully understand, but I think it's not as confusing as what it sounds like. So I'm pretty sure it's just going to be, hey, let's say the Warriors or whatever. Yeah, we'll say the Warriors are the team that wins Group C. They make it to the knockout stage. So the Kings then are not in that knockout round. I assume they will play 2 of the other teams in their group that also didn't make it to the knockout round, if that makes sense. As the Warriors are playing, I think there's going to be a consolation bracket.
Just so everybody gets those.
Just so everyone gets to 82. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
It will be very interesting.
Wow.
But I agree. I definitely think that once this thing goes to Vegas, like once the knockout stage kind of gets in full swing, I think people are going to care a lot about this. Because I think the players, you're just going to feel a different environment. Like it's going to feel... it's first off, obviously, it's the first year they're doing it. I think it's going to feel unique. It's going to feel like an event. And obviously, the NBA has poured tons of money into the promotion of this. So they're going to try and make it work, and they're going to try and make it feel as big as possible, however that may be, bringing in the stars or just having it it's going to be like an interesting little basketball convention. Like, they literally have a basketball convention now during summer league, but it's going to feel like an extension of that for sure. It's just going to be a week or a Monday through Thursday of just NBA talent in the city of Vegas doing a knockout tournament. Like that's really, really intriguing, I think. And I don't think people fully understand how cool it's going to be until we're presented with it. I just hope that it's going to be some good, interesting storylines, and it's not, the Orlando Magics of the world against the Hawks and the King. I hope that there is still a little bit of juice behind it because, I think that this tournament's going to need as much promotion and attention as possible in order for it to kind of work.
Yeah, from the text line, the 916. In-season tournament is nothing but marketing to sell more junk.
Absolutely.
0 interest. That is from the 916.
See, I think that I wouldn't say both things can be true, but I think that it is true that the in-season tournament is nothing more than marketing BS. However, I do think it's still going to be entertaining. I think it's going to be good.
Well,
it is BS that they're only doing it for marketing and marketing and money purposes, but I still think that it doesn't mean that it has to be a bad product. Like March Madness is still, for the most part, pretty much just a massive marketing opportunity. the tournament still has its
Yeah,
moments,
who else
for
is
sure.
watching college basketball? We talked about it, yesterday, a couple days ago, about watching college basketball. The thing is, the NBA has a problem in terms of watching the regular season. Yeah. How many of you, as much as you love Kings basketball, how many of you watch all 82?
How many people
know.
watched that Spurs-Suns game yesterday?
You're right. And it's not about your team. It's about other teams as well,
exactly.
right?
It can't just be a baseball thing.
It can't just, right.
That can be a whole different conversation that I know you've got thoughts on, but like,
don't get me started.
Yeah, baseball has almost made their thing a little bit too team-centric, and it's not so much about the league popularity.
Right. And the TV deals, we know they're making money, so they don't care. And I get that. When it comes to basketball and the 82 games, it's a similar situation. Hey, why don't you just cut the games in half? They're not going to do that, so we can just not waste our breath even talking about that. But really, when you discuss how many games are in the NBA season and caring about the NBA season, this is a way that the NBA feels to get you to care. Now, do I think that more people are going to watch the Kings game that counts as an in-season tournament game because it's an in-season tournament game? No. Right. Do I think people will watch the knockout stage of the game, and if you lose, you're out, and the Kings are up against whatever opponent? Yes. Because everybody likes, and that's what the NFL is king on a football Friday. That is what the NFL has been able to create, urgency. Mm-hmm. Every week matters. Yep. Every game matters. So this is a way for the NBA to give you a taste of that, right? Because we ain't going to cut the games. Right. We're going to keep it at 82 because these checks are cashing. Yep. So we're not going to cut that, but at the same time, we are going to give you a different version or a different look to hopefully make you care about the regular season more. So ultimately, do I think it will make people watch the regular season more? Those specific games within the regular season? No. But the knockout phase? Yes, I do.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, this has been done in, it's done in soccer all the time. Mm-hmm. Like it's not that foreign, or it is foreign concept for here, but it's not a foreign concept for sports. Like, it's just, like you're saying, it's a way of improving the regular season. This is not to do anything more than just elevate these games. These games were already going to be played. Mm-hmm. It's just now, like you said, there's a bit of urgency added to the games. There's a bit of importance, extra importance added to the game. And that's the thing that's been funny to me is people getting so upset about, this tournament's so dumb. I'm not going to watch the tournament. Well, were you going to watch the games anyway? Because they were going to, there's no difference except they're throwing a label on it.
The NBA is not losing. Well, technically, if nobody watches, I guess marketing dollars, they could lose. But I do think it's worth the risk because nobody is watching regular season.
Well, and think about just like how it helps the whole ecosystem of the team as well. Like, it's not just about viewership. It's also about, hey, this can also raise season ticket holder value where, hey, maybe before this San Antonio Spurs game in late November, you're selling that for $40 for an upper level seat. Well, now what if that's a random late November game to get the Kings into, if they win, they clinch the in-season tournament. Well, now that season ticket price goes from $40 to $100, and you've now, doubled the price and then some of your season. So it's good for everybody. And that's a big reason why the NBA, A, it's why they did this, and B, it's a reason why you better get used to it because it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. And I think it's going to work because I do think that people are going to go to games and then after the game, go to work, that water cooler talk and say, I went to the Kings game or I went to whatever game, and it was part of the in-season tournament. So it was pretty cool, man.
It's going to feel different. The court's going to look different.
It's Instagrammable. Look at this cool, different
the courts, the jerseys, all of that. And then, of course, the jerseys is a whole different marketing point where it's like the Kings win the in-season tournament in these throwback, city edition jerseys. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to buy that jersey because it reminds me of that first year they had the tournament and the Kings won, and it brings back so many memories. So the NBA knows what they're doing. They know they're printing money right now. And let's also not forget that they have a TV deal that's coming up in a couple of years that they're trying to also increase the value of what an NBA basketball game is worth in general as well.
So I think that it's going to work as much as people say they don't care. I don't care
at some point.
I don't think anybody, right. I don't think you're going to care right now for the initial games, but I do think you will care once it comes to the knockout stage because everybody loves a tournament. That's just what it is.
It's facts.
When we get back, it is time to preview the Houston Rockets. Are we overlooking the Houston Rockets? Are we overlooking Villain Brooks? Yes, that's his name. When we come back, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
It's time now for the Silver and Black Report, brought to you by ACR Home Services. For all your roofing and solar needs, visit ACRHomeservices.com. Major changes in Vegas. Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler were fired from their coaching and GM duties. McDaniels was just 9-16 in a season and a half. Linebacker coach Antonio Pierce takes over on an interim role. Since Mark Davis took over control of the team in 2011, the head coaching list, Hugh Jackson, Dennis Allen, Tony Sperano, Jack Del Rio, John Gruden, Rich Bisaccia, and Josh McDaniels. That is your Silver and Black Report. Let ACR Home Services be your one-stop shop for all your home needs, starting with unbeatable roofing services. Right now, get a new roof and receive $1,000 off that roof. So sign up today and save with no payment for up to 12 months. And ACR is more than just a roofing company. Whether it's roofing, solar, electrical work, you name it, when you choose ACR Home Services, you're not just getting a contractor, you're partnering with a team that's invested in your satisfaction. That's ACR Home Services.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. You got Kyle behind the booth, and this is a very Kyle song, very connected. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 7th official show. This is a very San Diego. I'm just on my longboard, just cruising down the beach, Mission Beach down there. I got fries in my burrito, which, by the way, yeah, that's a San Diego thing. Don't look at me like that, Kyle.
But you act like fries in the burrito is like the most exotic thing in the world.
But
like,
it's a San Diego thing is all I'm saying.
Yeah, lots of places do that. California burritos are awesome.
But that's a specifically San Diego says that they started that.
Yeah, we did.
Can I say something, though?
Yes.
That is one of the things fries, and we talked about Pittsburgh earlier with Mayo Man losing to Pittsburgh last night, and Permanente Brothers, right? So they put fries in their sandwich. They are very big in Pittsburgh, and there was one in San Francisco. I don't know if it's still there. Fries in their sandwich, fries in their burrito. We're going to start a segment here at some point, overly rated, underrated, or properly rated. Mm-hmm. And I got to be honest, fries in anything, better in theory than in practice.
Yes, agreed.
Because they soak up so much, I have no flavor now. And now it's just a carb bomb. Starch. And now I got to go to the gym.
Well, it depends. Like, I think fries and burrito, excellent. Fries and sandwich, not opposed to it. Fries in like a carne asada fries or something that. That's different.
I'm saying enclosed in something.
I think the problem is when they throw the fries in there.
Yeah,
it's just they just throw the unseasoned potatoes in. They're like, this is just
like In-N-Out fries.
Exactly.
In-N-Out fries.
Well, like, that means you're not getting it prepared right, my guy.
Oh, here we go.
Nobody is seasoning up fries and then just throw them in.
I gotta take you down to some taco shops in San Diego.
Okay, my fault. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I don't know where the Mexican spots are. My bad. That's on me.
We're gonna do a tour. We got Guy Fieri behind the glass.
Hey man, San Diego's got taco shops on every corner. Man.
I hear you. I actually got into it with somebody from SoCal. I think I might have told you this because I said, look, brother, they were from SoCal. Obviously, we're up here in NorCal. I said, look, brother, I'll give you tacos, but you got to give us burritos because we are home of the Mission Burrito.
Sure.
We're not new to this. We're true to this. And he refused. He said, no, we get both. We're right by Mexico. And I said, yeah, sure you are, but the Mission Burrito started in San Francisco. So what are we talking about here? And I'm giving you tacos. And he said, no, I don't care. I don't care. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But we do care about the Kings, of course, the Beam regime, and that's why, the Beam team, and previewing the Houston Rockets as we get ready to see what the Kings got and if they can bounce back from that L against the Warriors. The 209 chiming in on our last segment, talking about the in-season tournament. All of professional sports is just for marketing and to make money, in my opinion. People shouldn't overthink it and just try to enjoy it, exclamation point. And I like that 209 on a fun Friday, on a football Friday. Just try to enjoy it.
Yeah, sports are not about competition. That is the biggest, well, I should say, professional sports.
Yes.
And when it gets to the professional level, more specifically NFL, MLB, and NBA, those places are just trying to make as much money as possible. They are definitely businesses. They're not in it to try and have the most healthy competition possible to get the best winner. They are in it to make the most money possible, make the product as entertaining as possible.
Right.
Hence why we have teams scoring 120 points per game in the NBA and people throwing for 400 yards routinely in the NFL.
That it is for entertainment. It is for the fun of it. That's what we want to see. That's just how it is. So as we preview the Houston Rockets, and look, the Western Conference we know is a gauntlet. Shout out to Thanos. And we're trying to figure out what games the Kings can roll the ball out for, and they're not many. And really, if you're a high school coach, I know you're just cringing right now because every game is important. But if there were teams where you feel like it, and we'll get to Wembanyama a little bit later and his alien self and what he has going on as he beats the Suns again. We might have to play that Pedro Martinez sound again because he might be the Suns' daddy at this point. So
what can I say? Just tip my hat and call the Yankees my daddy.
That's where Wembanyama is with Kevin Durant, and some of the graphics are just otherworldly, and I don't know if they've been doctored in this day and age. You really can never tell. But the Houston Rockets, they go out, they get Fred VanVleet, who, being in the Bay when the Warriors lost to the Raptors and you didn't have Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson goes out, Fred VanVleet with that infamous laying on the ground with his eye bleeding. I mean, I like to say that Fred VanVleet created generational wealth for himself within 4 days.
Oh, for sure.
Within 4 days, he changed the trajectory of his family's life.
Within 4 minutes, he hit 9 points to start the fourth quarter of a closeout Game 6 in the finals.
Yeah, it was unreal, and you never heard from him again.
No. I mean, he never had a moment.
He got the bag.
As that.
I think he undrafted G League guy, made his way up. Never heard from him again.
He did make an All-Star team in 2020.
Yeah,
did he?
Yeah. I mean, he's been good, but like it's been for a very irrelevant Raptor team. Is the bigger point? Like,
he's pulling.
It hasn't led to really any significant success since the playoff run.
No. So he is now in Houston. Dillon Brooks, a.k.a. Villain Brooks, is now in Houston. He's still trying to find where Steph Curry is on the court. And now the Kings come to town for a weird, not a back-to-back, but you play the same teams in a 2-game series. If De'Aaron Fox goes or doesn't go, how do you feel? Do you think that the Kings either way should take 2? Because personally, I think that if De'Aaron Fox doesn't play for one, I expect them to split if De'Aaron Fox does not play both games.
I think they should go in with the expectation of winning both of these games. I still feel like even if you don't have your best player, that happens, man, and you got to be able to fight through it. I mean, they just got at least a good warm-up game in trying to do that, but I think especially when it comes to this lower competition, like if the Kings really do want to be talked about in the conversation of, the best teams in the Western Conference or maybe even in the NBA, you got to take advantage of nights like this. Because let me tell you, Alan, like there's been days here in Sacramento where the Kings have been those bad teams.
Right.
And let me tell you what, when the 76ers come in and they don't have Joel Embiid and they don't have James Harden and they don't have Tobias Harris, doesn't matter. It hasn't mattered in the past. Teams have beaten the Kings when they haven't had their best players going. And so I expect the same from this Kings team now that they're in the situation to be the better team. They should be able to beat the Houston Rockets without De'Aaron Fox, regardless of how healthy he is. He shouldn't need to play in either of these 2 games for them to get the result. Now, Can it happen? Sure. I'm not going to say like that texter the other day. There's no way the Houston Rockets can beat the Kings. There's definitely a way that the Rockets can beat the Kings, but they shouldn't. The Kings should have enough talent to have Domantas Sabonis match anything that Alperen Şengün does. Keegan Murray should be head and shoulders better than what Jabari Smith is, which is hilarious because Jabari was picked a couple picks in front of Keegan and was maybe somebody that the Kings were going to look at if he fell to number 4. So Keegan should be head and shoulders above anything Jabari Smith can do. Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter, the Kings just have the depth. This is where your depth is supposed to pay off for you. And it would be big if they can have a Chris Duarte 12 to 15 points off the bench tonight or tomorrow, I should say.
Yeah.
I think that this is going to be really big for the Kings bench. I think they need to. That's where they have the clear and obvious advantage. The starters without De'Aaron, like you can imagine how maybe Houston can go tick for tack with the Kings starters, but there should be no reason why Chris Duarte, Malik Monk, Sasha Vezenkov, whoever is coming off the bench should be able to outplay Jeff Green, Jayshawn Tate.
Jeff Green is still doing it.
Yes, he went from the championship Nuggets to the Rockets. Okay,
just go play.
And he's playing significant minutes, 17 minutes a game for him. The point is the Kings bench should be able to significantly outperform the Rockets bench.
Yeah.
And that should really be the story of these two games.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're looking at it, and not to continue to bring up that game that happened a couple nights ago, because you didn't get that one, even though you were in position to get it, and we talked about moral victories, that's all fine and good. But the bottom line is it was an L. So because you didn't get that one, you kind of have to get these two because you got to make up for it. And it's not even make up for it. They're games that you should win, but you can't drop a game. It's just even more important to not drop a game that you could have because of it. So
for sure.
I think that's really important for the Kings. De'Aaron Fox, I don't think you should play tomorrow. I know you're listening because you're a friend of the show, but just stick to Monday. Get your jersey retired tonight. Have a good time. Go out to your favorite restaurant in the Houston area and play. I don't have a problem with you playing on Monday, but Saturday just seems a little soon and honestly just feels unnecessary for a Houston Rockets team that is looking forward. If you're a Houston Rockets fan, what are you looking forward to? I'll tell you, you're waiting for college basketball or you're waiting for the G League to start, the G League Ignite, because you're looking for picks.
Yeah.
You're looking for picks. So that is what you're looking forward to. You are not looking forward to anything else. The Rockets are not in their heyday right now, even though they cashed out. And it would be interesting to see what a Houston Rockets fan feels right now. Because you spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you spent money on
towards what?
Very interesting players.
Also, they don't even have their draft pick this year.
Oh,
it's top 4 protected going to the Thunder for the Russell Westbrook trade.
Wow.
Tough stuff.
That is a tough look. I'll tell you what. The Rockets, who they signed, and they're going to catch a stray here. It reminds me of the Raiders signing Jimmy Garoppolo. Is that similar?
Yeah, I mean, it's just in the sense of like you sign this guy, but for what?
For what?
Like for what?
I heard
for what?
Like you're just kind of raising your floor, but you're not raising it to a level that's competitive with the rest of the league.
We hope people come.
You're going to be better than bad teams, like really bad teams,
yes,
but you're not going to be better than
Please come to the stadium. Please come to the arena.
It's funny that you said floor, though, because they were spending below the 90% cap floor thing, so if they hadn't spent that money, it just would have gotten split up and paid to like every team in the league, basically. So they said, we'd rather give this money to Fred VanVleet than the league take it as part of being below the cap floor.
Interesting. Well, hopefully he... Well,
that's always good business, right? Just spending money just because you have it and you don't want to give it up.
Right. Mike Tomlin, we don't care.
Yeah.
We do not care.
By the way, quick number here. The Kings last season, I looked it up, 26-8 against teams below 500. If the Kings want to, and that was with a 48-win season. So if the Kings want to continue to have 48 to 50 win seasons, like we've been told the goal is to improve on last year, that number's got to stay similar. I mean, against teams above 500, they were 22-26. So obviously that record you want to improve a bit, but you've got to beat teams that you should beat. And the Kings did a great job of that last year. It's why they were in the position they were in.
Right.
Got to do the same things this year. You got to kind of follow that same formula to try and get to the same amount of wins. So 26-8 last year against teams below 500.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, is Domantas Sabonis, is he underrated? We'll tell you where he's ranked according to CBS Sports. All that and more. And I see you, Jess, on the text line. What do you think our record is for the next 5 games? Well, at 12:30, we will talk about, at 12:45, we will talk about the Kings record for the next 10 games. All that and more. Hunter Patterson, NBA writer for The Athletic at 1:15. All that and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
For 35 years, TruckSmart has been your local leader in truck accessories. Find racks, toolboxes, and lighting for your work truck, and trailer hitches, side steps, and bed covers for recreation. They have shells for work or play, and offer Rhino lining, the best bed protection in the business. You like overlanding? TruckSmart has rooftop tents, recovery gear, and heavy-duty bumpers. Trust your ride to their skilled installers and expert sales staff at the Rockland and Auburn locations. TruckSmart. Your truck's gonna love them. TruckSmart.com.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I was crossing the street when I met the love of my life. I chased after her. Nothing would stand in my way. Not the dog walker, nor the hot dog vendor. Finally reaching her, I asked, "What do you call that amazing smell?"
It's Gain Flings.
Gain Flings. My love had a name, but more importantly, it had a scent.
Fall in love with Gain Flings. Seriously good scent. Gain Flings with 50% more freshness ingredients versus leading bargain detergent.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. De'Aaron Fox may have a chance to play Saturday or Monday for the Sacramento Kings after spraining his ankle last Sunday. You can hear from Fox and Brennan Nunez's latest story up right now at SactownSports.com. Our coverage on Sactown Sports of Kings versus Rockets tips off tomorrow at 3:30 with game night, and then G-Man will be on the call at 5 o'clock p.m. The NBA in-season tournament begins tonight with 7 games. The Golden State Warriors will play the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first game as part of Group C. And in the NFL, it's a big weekend. You've got Kansas City versus Miami from Germany in the morning. You've got Baltimore versus Seattle on Sunday at 10 o'clock. You've got Cowboys versus Eagles at 1:25. And then you have the primetime Buffalo Bills versus Cincinnati Bengals game at 5:20. Those are your headlines. Reminder, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Now let's return to more of Stiles and Watkins.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We are back. Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins, taking you up to 2 p.m. Been a great show so far. It's been flying by. I can't believe it's already 12:30.
I know. This is how it goes, though. It's just like,
yeah.
Once it hits 12:30, too, it just goes even faster.
Right.
Next thing I know, we're out of here.
With next thing you know, we'll be with you on Monday, of course, and we are joined by half of the Drive guys, as it will only be Whitey Gleason and Jerry Reynolds.
Yes, sir.
Whitey and Jerry. Kyle Draper might call in when he gets to Houston,
Sure.
but let's prepare for one of the two Drive guys.
Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. You know, that maybe he's listening to that on the flight as well. What do you think, Drape? Is he's going first class, right? He's a bigger guy. He's a vert, for those who don't know. He's definitely a vert.
Yeah, so let's get this out the way first, too, because even you texted me about it the other day. Kyle Draper is above 6 feet tall, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, Katie Christensen is just she's
taller.
She's taller.
Yes.
Yeah, there's levels to this.
Yeah.
And Katie's on another level.
Right.
You know, the other day during the broadcast, they were showing Katie and Kyle standing next to each other.
Right.
I'm sure Katie had heels on, but it looked
Definitely
like
had heels
it looked
on,
like
but
Kyle
still.
was maybe sitting or something like that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what you texted me. You were like, "Is Kyle sitting?" And I was like, nah, man.
Yeah, that's
Like,
WNBA for you.
Katie's been here before to do the morning show. She feels like a legit 6'5".
That's
I don't
solid.
think so. Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know how tall she is, but she's whatever she is legitimately.
Yeah, so I guess the question is, Kyle, is he going? He's got to go first class.
Has to, yeah.
He's not going private jet yet, but he's definitely going first class.
I assume he's flying with the team.
Yeah, I would
because
assume
he's
so.
broadcasting, so I assume he's on the chartered flight with the team.
Right.
Bougie Drapes. Bougie Drapes. That's what's going on.
You know.
So shout out to our guy Kyle Draper going to Houston to call those games. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as we get into somebody who, and we talk about overrated, underrated, properly rated. Domantas Sabonis, I think, is such an intriguing figure.
Polarizing, for sure.
Polarizing for sure. You had the situation where did he wrap Draymond's foot? Did he get stomped on? All that stuff. And CBS Sports put out something about the big men in the NBA.
Okay.
And I'm going to read you the names that are ahead of Domas, and I want to get your reaction, your pure reaction. So Domas,
they are saying this
list,
is a ranking of just big men in general.
Big men in general.
Not
so it's
centers, not just labeling them big men.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
So in that you have, I think it's top 15, something like that. You have guys that are in front of him. Some of the names that will kind of make you say, "Oh, I don't know about that." You have.
If Wembanyama is already above Sabonis,
No, he's not.
Maybe he should be, but
ahead of him, you have Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
Of course.
Joel
Embiid.
Of course.
Next after Joel Embiid is Anthony Davis.
Okay. I'm okay with that. When healthy.
After Anthony Davis is Bam Adebayo.
Okay. Just because it's that debate is another polarizing one, but I would say
so that's
okay.
Fourth.
I can live with that.
That's fourth.
Okay.
Fifth,
This is like this is where we're
happy.
getting towards Sabonis range.
This is not going to
like
make
if
you
he's
happy.
not
I'm
fifth.
just going to tell you right
if
now.
this fifth isn't a good fifth and Sabonis isn't sixth,
you're not going to.
We're going to need more than one segment.
They have Zion. No.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. Yeah, because I didn't have anything to say to that.
Zion.
What are we talking about? Zion Williamson?
LeBron James.
We're talking about Zion Williamson.
This seems like a cash grab.
Yeah, what is wait, what?
Yeah. Zion at fifth.
You just can't do that. Like you just can't like Anthony Davis, I'll let slide. Because you know what? Anthony Davis played through the playoffs last year. He actually like played playoff games and wasn't hurt during that playoffs.
That is correct.
So I can give him at least the benefit of, okay, you're like, yeah, he's hurt, but he's played. I don't remember the last time I watched Zion Williamson play basketball. Now I know he's been on national TV a couple times so far this year, but that's ridiculous. I mean, and I know when he plays, because I will give Anthony Davis when he plays, absolutely he's better than Zion or better than Sabonis, but Zion hasn't even played enough to really guarantee that spot. Like, yes, when he plays, he is 24-10, and that Pelicans team has had success when he plays, but it's just it's nowhere near the requisite amount of games to count towards being listed as that, because you have to give the caveat of this guy never plays. And when you never play and you're comparing him to a guy who played through his freaking hand, his finger being busted, his hand was like his thumb was hanging off by a thread. And you're going to have him ahead of Sabonis? That's insane. Now, I'm not saying talent-wise. Obviously, Zion, what he's able to do is ridiculous. Okay, and Sabonis wishes he had the vert or even half the vert that Zion has.
Shout out Vert.
Shout out Vert. But that's insane. You can't say that. You cannot. Give me the name and address of the dude who wrote this, because that is absolutely criminal.
But how do you
Why are we
really
so
feel?
zoomed in right now? I'm looking at the I know I was getting
But how
excited.
do you really feel? How do you really feel?
I mean,
I'm kidding.
I'm
just
frustrated and angry.
I mean, I understand. Like, truly, I understand why, again, as a talent, you could say Zion is better than Sabonis, but that's just disrespectful. That's crazy. You cannot say that. I just don't think you can justifiably say that. That's insane. He has not played enough basketball, period, end of sentence. This would be like, hey, I have Ben Simmons on my best playmakers list.
That's right.
But when he's right.
When he's
like,
right.
Okay, yeah, sure. Sure. And if I were 7 feet tall, I'd be in the NBA.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Okay.
Right.
Well, that's number 5. Is number 6 at least Sabonis?
Jaren Jackson.
So you're telling me the guy, when we're talking again, this is big men.
That's Depoy.
You mean repackaged Rudy Gobert?
Yo.
That boy can't
That is
rebound.
not-
That fool gets like 5 rebounds a game, and he's 6'11". Yeah, sure, great. He can jump out the gym and get these blocks. I can't. Jaren Jackson drives me insane. Ask Steve Kerr about Jaren Jackson, because I know he's not a fan after this Team USA experience. Please, he was begging for a center.
Yeah, but a lot of people didn't like Steve Kerr as the coach anyway.
That's a good point. But I'm not a Jaren Jackson guy, and I'm for sure never in my life am I putting Jaren Jackson ahead of Domantas Sabonis. I'm just not. Like, Sabonis is way more skilled than him. Sure, Jaren Jackson shoots threes and he blocks shots. That's great.
He shoots threes like Sean Marion,
He
in.
really does shoot them like Sean Marion.
But they go
so
in.
it looks ugly, and he gets blocks. That's great. Sabonis does literally everything for them, and he busts his butt on defense. Like, and is he a good defender? No. But he really, really gives his all on defense.
Got to get to a break.
That's
When we get back,
That's
the way you're reacting right now, it
That's
just makes me want to extend
That's
this
crazy.
segment.
That's
This
crazy. I
segment
told
was
you
always
we were
supposed to
gonna
be
do
one.
one. I
This
told
segment
you.
was always supposed to be one, but we're extending it
That's
because
so
the way
trash.
Chris is reacting
It's
is
just so trash, man.
outstanding, and we have to keep it going. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Hell no.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
Tell him, Mike.
Hell no.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento
Here's
Kings.
a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Hey guys, do you know what makes Revive Men's Health Sacramento different? You. Every Revive treatment and medication is personalized just for you. Revive has the experts that guys go to when their current treatment isn't working. They have a complicated medical condition, or they're just not happy with their daily performance. Since 2011, they've helped thousands of local men suffering with the symptoms of low T and ED. Their goal is simple: to get to the bottom of your issues and fix them. Your best performance requires more than generic ED medications or a low-dose testosterone booster at a low-ball price like you find online. Revive medications are custom compounded, affordable, and guaranteed to resolve your issues. Stop dealing with the symptoms of low T or ED. Book your free T-check and exam and save $199 today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit us at revivemenshealth.com.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Cooler temperatures mean it's time to reduce your outdoor water use. Water 1 day per week on Saturday or Sunday from November 1st through February 29th. Learn more about your home's watering schedule at sacwaterwise.com.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
We are back, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, and we are going down the list of big men, league's best post players. This is by Sam Quinn, CBS Sports, and Chris is giving just an outstanding feeling as we go through these different guys and trying to figure out where Sabonis is. And we're looking just like that meme, as we are now in November, so we're close to Thanksgiving as well. And, you know, beans, greens, tomatoes, potatoes. Yes. Hog malls, is it hog?
Yeah, it's hog. I was listening to that the other day, and I swear she says hogs, dogs. And I was like, I really hope she's talking about hot dogs.
No way. Is anybody eating hot dogs? Is anyone eating hot dogs at Thanksgiving?
That's trash. That's crazy. That is very. No, I don't mean financially poor. I mean that's poor effort.
I don't think anyone's eating hot dogs at Thanksgiving. The kiddie table. The kiddie table.
Yeah, maybe.
Even the kiddie table.
Like, give the kids some turkey. Come on.
Let's hear it. It is November now.
It is, yeah.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb.
Hey,
come on.
Hey.
Oh, there's more.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, this is the remix, so I don't know what they put in it, so I have to.
I'm pretty sure we're good. I'm pretty sure we're good.
Definitely listen to it first.
Listen to it over the break, and we'll get back to it. And as we get back to this list, that is really grinding Chris's gears.
Yeah.
So we left off at, what was that, number
6, which somehow Sabonis still has not been
Number
mentioned.
6 was Jaren Jackson.
Can you give the entirety of the list so far?
Yes.
Up to this
for those
point?
joining us, thank you for joining. If you've been listening, thank you for being with us.
Yeah, appreciate it on this Friday.
Nikola Jokic was 1.
Okay. Rightfully so.
Joel Embiid was 2.
Okay, MVP.
Anthony Davis 3.
Sure.
Bam Adebayo 4.
Okay, I've heard it.
You know, he was in the finals.
Yeah, exactly.
Zion 5 is what really got you ticking.
That's crazy. That's just absurd. I mean, the dude just hasn't played enough basketball, and I'm not saying what I've seen from him hasn't been better than Sabonis, but it's just you just can't do it. You have to value health at some point.
It's like Bigfoot. That Bigfoot, right? Crazy when you see him, but you rarely do, or you ever do. 6, Jaren Jackson.
And that's just absurd. This is hate. We're getting to hateration.
That's Depoy.
Sabonis was a third-team All-NBA player last year for the center position.
You want to hear 7?
If this is not Domantas Sabonis, I might walk out. So, yes, I would love to hear 7 because I would love an early day. Please make my day. Who's number 7?
Draymond.
Stop it. No, Alan Stiles, you're lying to me.
Chris is leaving.
You're lying.
Chris is leaving.
You're literally lying to my face right
I'm
now.
not.
There is a 0% chance. No, I got my headphones off. I don't even know. I can't.
Shout out Brandon. Brandon came in with no headphones on. That was a different
He did,
look.
yeah.
Very bold
Well,
of him.
Yeah, he's a writer, you know.
Yeah,
He
writers,
understand,
they kind of do
when you
their
step
own
in the
thing.
booth, you gotta
Right.
bring the
Turn my
cam
headphones
with
up.
you. Yeah,
Turn the snare up.
No, the left one.
Yeah, the left one. I can't hear it.
I'm doing everything I can to ignore the fact that you just told me that Draymond Green got
7.
listed higher than Domantas Sabonis, which is just, I mean, come on. Where do I even start with this?
Listen to this.
Talking about the triple single?
Though his 2022-2023
There's
season
explanations?
didn't start off on the brightest of notes, a.k.a. Muhammad Ali.
Punching your teammate in the face? Okay. Sure, yeah. Not on the brightest of notes. Okay.
Wonder what he means by that.
Yeah, I wonder.
What do you mean by that?
Oh my gosh. So what else is the description? Is he got anything else? Like, what is his logic?
Yeah, on the
'Cause I
brightest
gotta
of
know.
notes, Green turned in another stellar year of defensive wizardry
Stellar.
and playmaking acumen. It's hard to quantify.
Well, you can literally quantify
It's
it,
hard
I'm
to
sure.
quantify what he brings to the Warriors, but Steve Kerr has said many times that he's absolutely vital to their success. That bears out in the numbers
That's never
as
been
the
said about
Warriors'
Sabonis.
net rating improved by a team best 12.2 points per 100 possessions last season with Green on the floor. His leadership, intensity, communication, and skill make him one of the most uniquely valuable players in the league.
Who did Draymond stop last year in the playoffs? Because I don't remember. I remember
Jordan Poole.
That was a good
That's
one.
who he stopped.
That was a really good one.
Thank you. I'm here till Friday.
That was a really, really good one.
Didn't Lonnie Walker have like a 14-point fourth quarter
Dude,
against
king
Draymond?
of the fourth.
That's like, I don't remember. I remember Kevon Looney being a problem for the Kings, specifically for Domantas Sabonis. Never Draymond Green.
The A-Town stomp.
I remember Draymond guarding
The
De'Aaron
Baytown
Fox.
stomp. The
Don't
Baytown
remember
stomp.
that much having much success.
Draymond came off the bench at one point in the series.
That's a fact.
Yeah, he did.
absolutely.
And in the finals in 2022.
Reefer. That's what I got to say about this article. This is just absolutely insane. I don't know what this dude is on, but he needs to get off it because that's insane. Please. Okay.
So that was 7.
Alan, I'm not joking when I say, please tell me Domantas Sabonis is at the very least number 8 on this list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the pause.
Pascal Siakam.
Okay, no. Can we do something else? Can we please do something?
No,
else? Can we
not a chance.
Please. I don't
Not a
because how
chance.
much longer is this thing gonna go where I just
Not a
trash
chance.
all of these players
Actually,
who deserve their recognition, but not like this. Not like this. Not at this cost.
This wasn't even the one that I thought would be up for debate, which is Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, we already had Bam.
I don't even I'm not even prepared to debate Domantas versus Pascal Siakam because I've never heard them put in the same just everything
It's
he's able to
actually
do.
a
Like I haven't even talked about I've been talking about what's wrong with these other guys, but like Sabonis is 19 points per game, led the NBA in rebounding, which wait, this is a big man list, right? I feel like that's kind of important. Passing the ball, he's second only to Nikola Jokic, and if there is no Nikola Jokic that exists in this world, Domantas Sabonis is far and away the best playmaking big in the NBA. And then, like I said, if you want to disparage his defense, that's all fine and dandy. I think even he would admit his defense is his weak point, but it's not for lack of effort. Like the dude busts his ass on defense every single game.
Yeah.
And, you got to live with the results, but the Kings have shown they won 48 games with him at center last year. So clearly it's not that big of a hampering to have him at that center position. So I don't even know what to say because last year, a lot of the time I said, I think De'Aaron Fox definitely had his case for being this team's MVP, but I truly do believe that if we're talking about the most valuable player to what the Kings did last year, I would say it's Domantas Sabonis. So to have him 8th on this list, and I could say, you can maybe say he hasn't played the best basketball that we've seen him play so far this season. But even then you look at the numbers and it's just like, that again speaks to how ridiculous this guy is in that Golden State game in Sacramento. I would not say Domantas Sabonis had a good game. If I'm not mistaken, that man had 19 points and 18 rebounds.
Right.
That's a bad day for him.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not willing to hear it. I think that this is just too much of people. A, didn't watch the Kings in the regular season last year. B, only watch them in the playoff series, and C, are drawing all of their conclusions based off of how Sabonis played in that playoff series instead of taking the totality of his work and what he's been for 82 games instead of worrying about what he was for 7.
Well done. Well done.
So and that's all I got to say for today.
I won't let you.
Please tell me he's number 9.
He's 9. He's 9.
I never thought I would beg for this guy to be the 9th best big man in the league, but my goodness, what a terrible list. What a terrible publication. Is that CBS Sports? I don't think we should run CBS radio anymore.
Shout out
This
CBS Sports. We love CBS.
Yeah,
Sports.
we do. I'm sorry. But we don't like your list. This is trash. This might be the worst list that we've ever gone through. And that's high praise because we've done some really bad lists before. This is terrible.
I'm just saying.
This is really, really bad.
9. And to recap, for those of you just joining as we move on, Jokic 1, Joel Embiid 2, Anthony Davis 3, Bam Adebayo 4, Zion Williamson 5, Jaren Jackson 6, Draymond Green 7, Pascal Siakam 8, Domantas Sabonis 9, Karl Anthony Towns 10.
I'm just going to let the chat do the talking for me here because there's some great things in our YouTube chat right now. How about this one? Was this list generated by ChatGPT? Because that's definitely what it feels like. Let's see here. Last year, Sabonis was number 6 on this very list. How about this from Dwayne? Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, Jokic, the only other players besides Domantas Sabonis to average 19, 12, and 7 in a season. Nobody else on that list except for Nikola Jokic and Domantas Sabonis have ever done that from the big man position. Oh, yeah. We're doing big men. As who pointed this out here? Victor.
Yeah, where's Giannis?
Where is Giannis?
Yeah.
Where?
I guess, where is Ja?
Where is Giannis? Where's Kevin Durant? Does he not count as
They're
big
not
man?
big men, apparently.
Apparently not. Apparently, once you stand next to Wemby, you're no longer big. So
yeah,
that's just this list is trash. And yeah, even the fact that Wemby isn't included, I could have lived.
No, Wemby
with
is
Wemby.
Wemby is at the. I don't know the numbers, but at the top of it, you have Julius Randle, Wembanyama, Rudy Gobert, and not that order, but a similar order. They also have Aaron Gordon. If you're going to have Aaron Gordon, why is there no Giannis? That's confusing to me.
Wait, Aaron Gordon as a big man?
Yeah, let's send this list into the sun. Let's just do it.
It's a crazy.
My goodness.
I guess Aaron Gordon is 6'9".
I'm really upset that we got 2 segments out of this because the problem is it should have been so high on the list that there just wasn't much besides, number 4. Oh, yeah, there is a Bam argument to be made, but, it's really pick your style kind of thing. Bam's more defensively minded, but, when you really think about it on the offensive end, they kind of do the same thing. I'm okay with that argument, but I'm not here to argue for the past, 15, 20 minutes about how Sabonis is better than all these guys that he's clearly head and shoulders better than. If you just, I don't know, here's a noble concept if you're going to write about the NBA, watch the actual NBA games.
Got to pay for League Pass. You're paying for Sam Quinn's League Pass.
I'll do it. I will gladly chip in.
Should we sponsor the League Pass? I will gladly
chip in. We're gonna pay for this man's League Pass, and we're gonna pay for was the Ruiz who wrote that Brock Purdy was number 25.
Yeah,
we're gonna pay for his Sunday ticket as well.
Wow,
my goodness. Come on, it's a Friday, man. Yeah, take that for data. It was supposed to be a Friday fun day, man.
I'm sorry, I got Chris Watkins upset. I got him upset. I really
editor wrote the thing is garbage.
Hey, look,
take that for data.
And look, all I ask is Sabonis underrated? And
yes, I think we got our answer.
40 minutes later, we got our answer. Got to get to a break when we get
garbage.
Self-awareness. Who has it? James Harden does not. That and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, chicken, turkeys, rabbits, you name it!
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year. all-stars and all NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles, drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. Makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every single day. Imagine what you could do if your business had that kind of reach. It's not a dream. Right now, you can take advantage of Amazon's expansive network to benefit your business. Unlock expert insights and tap into the full potential of Amazon. Simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105. Put the power of Amazon to work for you. Text DIGITAL, that's DIGITAL, to 916-766-5105.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter. These are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings play the Houston Rockets tomorrow night at 5 o'clock p.m. Our coverage on game night tips off at 3:30 tomorrow. G-Man's call is coming at 5 o'clock. You can hear from De'Aaron Fox and his injury status in Brennan Nunez's latest story up right now at SactownSports.com. It's a big old weekend in the NFL. In the morning in Germany, we have Kansas City versus Miami at 6:30. Then we have Seattle taking on Baltimore at 10 o'clock. Then you have Cowboys and Eagles at 1:25. And then you've got the Sunday night football game between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. That game you can listen to right here on Sactown Sports. Those are your headlines. Reminder that all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Now let's return for the final hour on a Friday of Stiles and Watkins.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916. Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports. Thank you, Kyle, for that outstanding update. Taking you up to 2 p.m. 7th official show, lucky number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Is 7 really lucky? And is 13 really unlucky?
I don't think so, but
Who here actually has an affinity for the number 7?
I had to get. Well, because sometimes 7 could be. No, 7 is lucky. That's right. Yeah. I think that stems from like religion, though, doesn't it? Where it's like there's 7 days of the week.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a ton, like 3.
You rest on the 7th day.
Yes. I went to a Catholic school growing up.
I
so
did too,
I had to get a lot of that
Yeah.
indoctrinating. And if I'm not mistaken, 3 and 7 are like the significant numbers.
Big days.
And then
Big days.
13, I think 13 is just like a general population kind of thing made up. I don't believe that's tied to anything.
Manny Too Legit on the YouTube chat asking what's for dinner tonight. Tri-tip, ribeye, wings, and all that.
They're always
jazz.
talking about dinner in the chat. I don't know why. We got a very food-friendly
What
chat.
do you have? I know. So if you're just joining the show, thank you for joining. If you've been listening, thank you for rocking with us. Do you have a favorite food, or what is a go-to dinner?
Yeah.
Right. Or even if we were to make it more specific, if we're talking steaks or whatever like that, is there anything that, hey, that's what I like?
I love a good steak and like a steak, like just a grilled meal, like steak, asparagus,
But
and
what
rice.
kind of steak?
So good. A ribeye, whatever you can get cheap at Safeway in the big deal section for sure.
Okay, well, where is the Safeway out here? Because I'm in the NATO, I'm in Natomas, and I don't know where the Safeway is.
I see. Yeah, I'm not. Natomas is one of my blind spots for sure.
Okay.
I can get some more Natomas experts. There's a couple Natomas experts in the building that I can send your way.
Okay.
But there's also, I guess you probably don't even know about Bel Air and Rayleigh's. Bel Air and Rayleigh's.
I saw the Bel Air. I was like, am I Fresh Prince? What's going on here?
It's all the same parent company as Safeway. So
no, Rayleigh's isn't.
Rayleigh's isn't?
No,
I don't
Rayleigh's
think
is a
so.
Sacramento specific company.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Like that's why the AAA baseball field here used to be called Rayleigh Field. It's like a really big part of the community. And Rayleigh's and Bel Air. Rayleigh's and Bel Air are the same parent company. That is under Rayleigh's.
Oh, interesting. I never knew that.
No,
Not
Safeway, I
connected to
believe.
Safeway.
No, Safeway is national brand, if I'm not mistaken. I
I don't
haven't been
know.
well versed enough in this
I
country.
don't know
to
if
know
Safeway's
Safeway.
national. I've never seen Safeway outside of California.
Really interesting. Well, you learn
have you
something
seen
new every day.
Vaughn's before?
Yes, definitely Vaughn's.
So
It
Vaughn's and
reminds me of
Safeway are the
Vans
same
shoes.
parent company for sure. Like that same parent company owns a bunch of those.
I was just trying to connect something to Safeway.
I'm trying my best.
I
man.
hear you. So Bel Air. So I have a question.
So if you go to Bel Air and Rayleigh's,
I have takes.
little
right?
upscale, if you catch my little. I don't know about grocery.
But
shopping
here's my
stuff.
question. So Safeway for me, and it's gone up because of the economy and all that good stuff, or I don't know if the word is good, but when I first Safeway sandwiches to me, they used to be $5.99.
Yeah.
I love them.
At the deli?
At the deli.
Yeah.
Right. And now they're $8.99. I still get them because it's still a good deal, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But does Bel Air, do they do sandwiches? Can I get a sandwich
totally.
there?
Yeah, they've got hot food.
Are they
there.
good?
They are good. They're like really quality, really quality food. Like for sure.
Okay.
I would maybe even argue better than Safeway. Like it's just a little bit more fresh. I don't know, like the flavor wise, it's just a little bit more fresh. I really can't explain it. So I would say, yeah, I would actually give Rayleigh's and Bel Air the advantage on that.
So I actually at Safeway, and my dad, for some reason, he just thinks this is just wild, right? But I go chicken tender sandwich at Safeway.
I didn't even know that existed.
I don't know who created it. Maybe I did, or I saw somebody do it. But I do it, and my dad is he thinks
and
that's
it's literally
the
just
worst thing.
tenders with bread.
Yeah, he thinks that's worse than Brendan going just mayo on his glizzy.
On his what?
Yeah.
On his hot dog. So Brendan Nunez, who was here yesterday on a Friday
yes, sir.
fun day, and we love Brendan. Hopefully he's listening. And I don't know if I was supposed to say this on air, but it's too late now. So Brendan, you get hot dogs at halftime. The media does.
Yep.
So you go to the game and you get food before the game, and then they do hot dogs at halftime. And Brendan has been getting roasted because he's putting mayonnaise and only mayonnaise on his hot dog. And he does it, and I've been defending him. Not that I would ever do that, right? I'm like,
just live your truth.
Call it an aioli or whatever it is, right? But Brendan, he does it, and he does it with pride, and he gets roasted by Frankie, our guy, also Sactown Sports. Chris gives him a hard time, but he goes just mayonnaise on his hot dog, a la Mayo Man Will Levis in his coffee. It's not as bad as Will Levis in his coffee.
Coffee's way worse.
But way worse. But mayo on his hot dog, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah, let's not try and change the subject here. Tendies on just buns is pretty wild.
Yo!
That's pretty wild.
Why? It's like Chick-fil-A.
So in the Southeast,
crazy.
they have Publix as their grocery stores.
Okay.
And Publix has a thing called a pub sub, which is basically just a chicken tender sandwich.
Thank you.
And it's like notoriously famous out there. Like that's one of the things that Publix is best known for.
That is nowhere near mayo.
But you're talking
on the hot
like
dog.
Like you're literally just putting chicken tenders in between bread. Like
No,
you're not
I'm
going,
getting lettuce, tomato, pesto, the olive tapenade. We got it all.
Okay, that's a little different.
Pickles.
I just feel like I would call that a grilled chicken sandwich or like a breaded chicken
fried
sandwich.
chicken sandwich, maybe.
Well, they're chicken tenders.
Yeah, it's a chicken tender sandwich.
Just calling it a chicken tender sandwich just does it. It sounds a little bit more, how do I say, preschooly. No, you're not getting that vibe. If I were to say, can I have a tendy sandwich, please?
Yo.
I'm literally just throwing some tendies on there.
Can I get a chicken tender sandwich?
Yeah.
I gotta put more bass on my.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yeah. I gotta get my tippy toes too. Yo. Hey, can I get one of them chicken tender sandwiches? Does that sound better?
Can I get some tendies?
Is that how you order it?
Tendies
Is
on a
you
bun.
ask for a chicken tender
Every time.
sandwich?
That's crazy.
Can I get chicken tendies?
No, that's crazy.
What is the problem?
I see no problem. I'm with you on this.
It's just when you said chicken tender sandwich, my brain instantly went chicken tenders on a sandwich, and that's it. Just like a Wingstop. I don't know if you've had the Wingstop chicken sandwiches. They're literally just the chicken tender of Wingstop with 2 tiny pickles and
not bad.
Like McDonald's buns.
It's not bad.
Nothing else.
It's not bad.
It's not great. It's not great.
I haven't had it again.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it wasn't. It didn't tick me off when I had it.
Well, I'm sure if you get one from Rayleigh's or Bel Air, a chicken tender sandwich, I'm sure it would be smashed.
Well, will they let me?
It would be
Will they let me? And will they let James Harden continue to do whatever he wants?
Be the system.
Be the system. Here's James Harden talking about how the 76ers had them all messed up and they didn't use them correctly. It's always everybody else's fault. No accountability. Starring Draymond Green and James Harden. Here he is.
When I'm in a leash, I'm not meant just shooting the basketball every time. I meant like I think the game and I'm a creator on the court. You know what I mean? So if I got a voice to where I can, hey coach, I see this. You know what you think about this? Then it's like, oh, okay. Like somebody that trusts me, that believes in me, that understands me, that I'm just not I'm not a system player. I am a system. You know what I mean? So
that's crazy.
Somebody that can have that dialogue with me and understand and move forward and figure out and make adjustments on the fly throughout the course of games, probably really care about. You know what I mean? It's not about me scoring a basketball, scoring 34 points. I've done it already. So that's what I meant by that.
You know, crazy enough, when Chris and I started 7th Official Show, I walked in and I said, hey, man, my name is Alan. It's good to meet you. I hope that we can work together. And Chris said, I think you're used to working in a system, and I am a system. And that was crazy to me. I am the
You're like, I'm really
system.
excited to do the show with a show with you. And I was like, no, it's not a show. I am the show.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's
I
what
am
it
a
is.
show.
Like I am.
Everywhere I go, everywhere I walk,
Yeah.
I am the show. So that is James
Incredible.
Harden. I mean, am I missing something? Is he better than I am imagining at this point in his career?
No, I don't think so. Like you cannot talk about yourself like that at this point in your career with where you've been, with all the places that you've ran yourself out of. You're not a system. Nobody, let me tell you what, nobody is in any rush to build a system around James Harden because he doesn't stay anywhere long enough to put in said system. Like he's a person that, especially when you think about him, oh my God, I can't even imagine.
He's 34, by the way. He's 34.
I can't imagine the looks that were sent in that media room from the media members when he said that, because everybody in there has been watching this team the past couple of years. They understand that this team is about Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. And for the most part, like the team's success is going to run through those two guys. And so to hear this guy at the age of 34, again, being run out of his last 4 places, it's been 4 places in 5 years or whatever for James Harden, to hear him walk in day one and say, it's cool what they got going on here, but now that I'm here, everything has to be involved with me. Like I have to be involved in it all, and it all runs through me. What are you supposed to like? How are you supposed to feel to that? How are you supposed to react to that? This guy clearly does not. He's just delusional. Like he doesn't understand how this thing works, and that's been the James Harden problem. Is exactly that quote, that he doesn't understand that it's not about James Harden. It's about what you can do to put your team in the best situations. And, that's probably why we heard rumors of him possibly going to Houston this past offseason is because he thinks he is somebody that has a gravity that everybody else just kind of that everybody pulls towards. And that's not the case anymore at this point in his career. Maybe 26-year-old, 28-year-old James Harden, who was putting up those 30, 10, and 10s. Absolutely. Sure. That guy is a system, but 34-year-old James Harden, who we haven't seen be a leading scorer or really, for the first half of last year before he didn't make the All-Star team, he really was a team guy. But I think once he saw he didn't get the acknowledgement that what he's been used to, kind of feel like he changed up his style. And I don't think he understands what it takes to be part of a winning team, and definitely not a team that only has one basketball. He's got to share the sugar.
Yeah, again. And I think one thing that might keep things more realistic for James Harden, we'll look it up after the break, but we do have Hunter Patterson coming up at 1:15, NBA writer for The Athletic. But I do want to see if the Clippers' odds changed at all, right? Yeah. And if so, how did they change in terms of winning the title? So we will get that info for you. But when we get back, Hunter Patterson, NBA writer for The Athletic, one of the up-and-comers, NBA writing in, I guess, just the Bay Area, everything right now. He's another Bay Area guy who's moved now to Sacramento. So I'll talk to him about that.
Fellow Zont as well.
Whoa. Don't call him out like that. Don't call him out like that. All right, got to get to a break. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Does your dog leave frowny piles of poo around the yard? Did you know that a solid poo is one of the best indicators of your dog's gut health? Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food is made with organic super seaweed and other powerful antioxidants, supporting a healthy digestive system. Real protein is always the first ingredient, plus a blend of essential vitamins and minerals to help support your dog's overall health and well-being. Do their digestion a solid, literally. Find Supreme Source Premium Dog Food at Safeway, Save Mart, and Smart & Final, or a local grocery store near you.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Stiles and Watkins, 7th official show. And we are joined by one of the rising stars in the NBA writing department, Hunter Patterson, NBA writer for The Athletic. Hunter, thank you for joining us, my guy.
And that was a great intro, so I really appreciate y'all.
Of course. And Chris was telling me you're from Richmond?
Area, grew up in Richmond, went to Salesian and St. Mary's for high school, so Bay Area, born and raised.
Wow. Rich what? Richmond. Yeah, I had to. Yeah, man. So, I mean, how would you assess getting into the Kings? I've seen you at the games. I don't think we've officially met, but I've seen you at the games. Chris pointed me out to you, and now you're on the show, so thank you for being with us. How would you assess the Kings these first 4 games?
I thought they played pretty well, especially without Fox the last one. Came down to the wire. Clay did what Clay does, but just in De'Aaron's absence, I thought that they played pretty well. Davion stepped up and had a season high, so I like what I'm seeing so far.
Hunter, specifically, you mentioned Davon there. I know you've done a lot of work with or just writing about Davon in the past. What have you thought about just how prepared he is to fill this role and just what you've seen what you've seen from him so far this season with his jump shot, and now that he's in this position to kind of take minutes in that starting role. What have you seen from Davon this year, and are you a fan of what you've seen?
Definitely a fan of what I've seen, and I think he's done a really good job of just being prepared to shoot. As we see, 36.4% from three,
right,
and only 2.8 attempts. But I think just the willingness to shoot may not have been there as much last season, and he's coming off DHOs, actually looking for his shot and keeping defenders honest. So I think it's been good there, and then as well as him looking to dish and get his teammates involved. That's been a plus as well.
Talking to Hunter Patterson, NBA writer for The Athletic. Hunter, the Kings, they did some things against the Warriors in San Francisco that were really good. A couple things that did not go well for the Warriors was Kevin Huerter still not completely finding his shot, and Keegan Murray 0 for 7 from 3. Maybe that's because of the legs guarding, running around with Steph Curry. Should Kings fans be worried about Kevin Huerter and or Keegan Murray?
I wouldn't say so. I think we're still only a handful of games into the season.
Mm-hmm.
Keegan's adjusting to a new role. Mike has been on him pretty consistently to just expand his game, not just be a three-point shooter. And so he's kind of in an adjustment period with that expansion of his role. And Huerter, he's definitely not been shooting the ball as well, even going back to the playoffs last year. But I think last game he had 9 boards, nearly a double-double. So he's trying to find ways to impact the team other than just shooting and what we've become accustomed to in the three-point shooting.
Yeah. Hunter, what do you think? I don't know if I'm assuming you heard about, all the reports from fellow Athletic guys, Shams, about De'Aaron's recovery time and him possibly coming back as soon as Saturday. What are just kind of your thoughts on if the Kings should try and rush De'Aaron back to or not even rush him back, but get him back as soon as possible to try and pick up some wins here? Or do you think that Saturday's a little bit too soon for this ankle injury?
I'd caution rushing back. I'd take a little bit more time, but one thing that you got to love about De'Aaron is the fact that he loves to hoop and be out there as much as possible. And at practice yesterday, he literally said if it were up to him, he would have been out there against the Warriors. So he's going to try to get back as fast as he can, but I personally would be a bit more cautious and at least let him sit out these next 2 games against the Rockets.
Yeah, he's getting his jersey retired. We know he wants to be a part of it, but I think we're on the same page. I don't know. Don't feel as strongly about Monday, but Saturday just feels a little soon this early in the season. Talking to Hunter Patterson, NBA writer for The Athletic. Hunter, there's been some conversations, and our own Chris Watkins has been trying to ship Harrison Barnes out on the first plane that he can find anywhere else in terms of trades. Do you see a trade in the future for the Kings to get over the hump?
I don't necessarily see a trade. I think I kind of want to see what the continuity continues to do throughout the season. HB is third leading scorer for the Kings so far, 16.3. That first game he had was incredible. And he just seems to be like a really calming presence for all the guys, especially in the locker room. That being said, though, if there are options on the table, I think we should explore them. But I wouldn't be too hard pressed to trade HB right now.
Hunter, I'm just curious. We've gotten a good look at the Warriors twice now already. I know you were at the game the other day as well. What have you kind of thought about that Warriors team and obviously them adding Chris Paul this offseason? Do you feel like they're a better team than they were last year, or is it just kind of a different version of this Warriors team?
I have to say they definitely look better than they did last season. Just the leadership Chris brings.
Right.
He's able to get Steph off the ball a little bit, especially in late game situations. And I think that frees Steph up to not always be the guy who has to do everything late in games. And even with the second unit, I think CP's done a great job bringing JK along. Moody's game, can't really attribute that to Chris, but Moody has improved as well. So I definitely think that they're looking better than they did last season. But again, it's super early in the season.
Yeah. And then, Hunter, also today is the first day of the in-season tournament. Don't know how much of that you'll be tuning into, but just kind of what are your thoughts on that? And do you feel like this is going to overall be a success for the NBA?
I got to be honest. Not really a huge fan of the courts.
Yes.
That may be something that
a bit much.
Maybe I'll grow to like, but I don't know. I think Adam Silver is definitely trying to kind of spice things up and make the regular season more interesting. And hopefully it all works out well. So I'll definitely be tuned in tonight.
Talking to Hunter Patterson, NBA writer for The Athletic. Hunter, before we get you out of here, what should be realistic expectations for the Kings? We do a segment on here called Beamin' or Dreamin'. You're beaming if you think the Kings are going to get past where they got to last season. You're dreaming if you don't. Do you think, well, really the question is, are you beaming or dreaming? Do you think they will get further than they got last season?
And that's beaming, right?
Yep. That would be beaming.
I think I'm going to go ahead and rock with beaming.
Wow.
I think that this is a team that, again, like I always kind of temper expectations. The West is incredible, as we see. But I think this team is really only in its second season of putting it all together. Keegan, I mean, we talked about it a bit earlier. He's adjusting to his new role, but I'm expecting him to, again, kind of have a breakout season. And, yeah, once De'Aaron gets back, he's averaging 31 right now, only through 3 games. Crazy. But he's really in a different mode right now. So we'll see if they can bring it all together, but I do think this will be just as good of a season, if not better than last year.
That's what we love to hear, and that is how you become a friend of the show, and that is what you are now. Hunter Patterson, NBA writer for The Athletic. Hunter, thank you so much for joining, and enjoy your weekend, my friend.
Likewise. I appreciate y'all having me.
All righty. Have a good one, man.
All right. Y'all too.
Good stuff.
Awesome. Yes.
Beaming.
I know.
Unlike Kyle.
When he asked for the clarification, I was like, I
thought he was going to go dreaming. I thought he was going to go dreaming there, but great stuff from Hunter Patterson, NBA writer for The Athletic, one of the up-and-comers for NBA writing in general, and specifically for the Kings. Rich men. That's who he is, and that's what
yes,
he does. You saw Coach Carter, right?
I did. Yes, sir.
Where does Coach Carter rank for you?
In terms of just like,
because I think it's
basketball
underrated.
Movies or just
sports movies.
Oh, it's definitely up there. Like it might be. I kind of want to put it. I mean, personally, it's in my top 3. It's probably like closer to 3, but I love Coach Carter.
I don't know if it's top 3, but it's like top
Coach
7
Carter.
for me.
See, like,
because it's better than top 10.
I don't know if I've seen 7. I mean, I'm not a movie watcher either, so I'm probably not in the right.
Okay, no. If you're just joining the show,
yep.
If you're just joining the show, Chris does not like music.
I wouldn't say I don't like music.
Does not like food.
I just don't keep up with it.
And does not like movies.
Food. I can't look how I look and not love food.
But he loves to shame me on how I think The Bear is good but not great.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Because I do watch a lot of television. But The Bear is just good television program.
It's good.
It's just a good television.
But why isn't that enough?
It's fantastic.
It's good.
Great. It's great.
It's good.
It's really, really great.
It's a good show.
Now I'm confused which point you two are arguing.
I don't know. I'm just saying The Bear is great.
I'm just saying.
I don't know how he tied that back in, but I'm just saying.
I'm always going to tie it back in. Jess wants to hear my top 7. I don't have it offhand on the YouTube chat, and thank you for rocking with us as always. The top 7, I don't know, but I will say another underrated movie for me, and R.I.P. Bernie Mac, would be Mr. 3000.
Oh, Mr. 3000, so
very underrated.
I saw that at the drive-ins.
Wow.
Yes, absolutely.
Shout out drive-ins.
That honestly might have been.
Is there one in the NATO?
There's one in Elk Grove. Actually, where you were near yesterday.
Oh, I was out there.
The Bradshaw area.
Out there.
Yeah. So I think that was actually the last movie that I've seen in the drive-in.
Mr. 3000.
And it kind of feels good that way.
Yeah.
I might keep it that way.
Right. Rex Pennebaker. Shout out Rex.
Was that his name?
That was the youngin'.
Oh,
that was the youngin' that was coming after Bernie.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was coming after Mr. 3000.
I always say this, but man, it just sucks that movies are kind of like the movie industry is how it is because they'll just never make movies like that anymore. Like that movie will never get greenlit.
No,
not to be as quality as it was. Like it might be a Netflix movie, but it would just be a little corny. Like I feel like Hustle, the Adam Sandler movie with Anthony Edwards and Juancho Hernan Gomez. Like that's about as good of a movie as we can hope for, and that felt like it was only good because Adam Sandler really, really cares about basketball.
Well, and the other question is it a matter of the movies not being as good, or is it a matter of us being older?
I think it's the fact that they don't spend as much time on movies. Like it's more about just pumping them out than like actually, hey, this movie got greenlit, so let's try and make it the best movie possible.
Also, much like with America, the middle class of movies don't exist anymore.
Exactly.
Like a movie that
That's
gets
more,
a $3 million budget doesn't exist. It's either $100 million or $500,000.
Right, because it's not as if a version of Mr. 3000 or Coach Carter, for that matter, are coming out and we're just older and we're not watching it. They're not coming out anymore.
Yeah, exactly. They're just not coming out. And instead of making a Coach Carter story, they're going to make a Giannis Antetokounmpo Disney movie.
And I'm not watching
that's just kind of where the money
Let me
goes.
know, YouTube chat, text line, call in 916-339-1140. What movies, what shows, what are we sleeping on this fun Friday, on this NFL Friday, Football Friday? And speaking of, we will talk NFL and the NFL slate when we get back. 1:30, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Hello. It's that time of the week where, even though I am not Christopher Laud, it's time for your chill Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings are playing against the Houston Rockets tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. Our coverage on Sactown Sports will begin at 3:30 p.m. You guys should definitely listen in. It's going to be fantastic. There's a lot of good NFL coming on this weekend. Kansas City and Miami, they're playing in Germany. Then we've got Baltimore and Seattle. They're playing at 10 o'clock on Sunday. Excellent football. Cowboys and Eagles. Buffalo Bills against the Cincinnati Bengals. It's going to be a fantastic, fantastic football Sunday. No 49ers, though. They're on bye this week. But stay tuned for their next game against the Jaguars. Those are your headlines on this chill Sactown Sports Friday. It's time for our final half hour of the show with Stiles and Watkins.
I never know how to come in after the chill. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, 30 more minutes with you until, I'm not going to say it because I'm going to ask Kyle to find the sound. You know what I'm talking about, 007. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the weekend. We'll get that sound later.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what are you talking? I've not seen any James Bond movies.
Right.
Gotcha. Yes,
yeah,
on
Ladies
SNL.
and Gentlemen, the weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you.
I mentioned this the last time, but the person who runs that Twitter account is a student at UC Davis.
That's right. You did say that.
Random.
You did say that.
And I remembered how I figured it out because he follows one person on Twitter, and it's himself. His actual personal account.
Got it. That makes sense. That makes sense.
You should follow Daniel Craig, too.
Real
Feels
quick,
nice.
we've been talking about a lot today, and it's been a really fun Friday. Literally, the
vibes have been vibing, as you like to say.
definition. So we have from the 916. I used to work at Rayleigh's. We were talking about sandwiches as I become a Sacramentan.
Yes, there you go. Nailed it.
A Sacramentan. I used to work at Rayleigh's. We would make a rotisserie chicken sandwich with avocado, bacon, ranch, and Swiss cheese. That is Anthony from Elk Grove. That sounds outstanding.
And that will be replacing your tendy sandwich?
I mean, I'm going to see how the tendy is hitting first.
Okay.
But I'm going to try it out. The 916, that marinated mozzarella, my guy. That is from Steven. And from the 925, stop. That's all it says.
That's it.
That's all it says.
We don't know what
was
it's about.
27 minutes ago. We don't know what it's about. And real quick, Tyrese Halliburton, before we get into NFL.
Oh, jeez. First Marvin Bagley, and now Tyrese. Let's just bring up all our exes, man. Come on.
Hold on. Tyrese Halliburton thinks the winner of the in-season tournament should get an automatic bid to the playoffs. And this is a quote. I think the greatest incentive for everybody to do it would be an automatic playoff bid.
Yeah.
If it was a playoff spot, I think everyone would take it very, very serious, right? I think the older teams would take it serious. And I thought there would be an automatic bid to the playoffs, honestly.
Yeah, I think the problem is, like, how do you then implement that? Like, what seed do they get? What happens if that, like, so what, you earn a spot by winning the in-season. What if you also earn a spot with your record? How does that, like,
how I would do it is I would set it at the 5th seed.
Okay.
Right. And you cannot be worse than the 5th seed. But what happens is the same thing. The problem with that is the same thing they're trying to help in making in making the regular season more,
and the rest thing
more
as well.
urgent.
Because that's the thing for me. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Where my mind goes is, okay, let's say the Warriors.
You can't do the 5th seed. You have to do what is the beginning. The first one not playing. So what, the 6th, or is that 5th or 6th? 6. So you'd have to be at. You cannot be worse than the 6th seed.
I feel like if the Warriors were to win the in-season tournament, like, you might get a case where, okay, we've already guaranteed our spot. What all that matters is being healthy to be in that spot. Let's rest everyone the last month of the season.
I don't think so.
I mean, why wouldn't they?
Because I think it was
incentive?
1970. In the 1970s, the only team to win lower than a 3 seed was the Houston Rockets.
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't happen often.
Sure.
The Warriors won as a 3 seed in 2022.
Yeah.
The Heat got there as a 4 seed, 5 seed in the bubble.
8 seed last year.
Well, they did as an 8 seed last year, but they didn't get it done. So I hear what you're saying.
Because obviously the NBA is really trying to lock down on guys resting.
You can't do it.
It feels like, why is Chris Paul going to play this random game at the end of March if we already have our playoff spot guaranteed and we just want to be healthy for the playoffs, which we already know we're making, doesn't matter what our record is. We could be below 500, but still have Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Clay. That's not a 500 roster. Like that's, so it causes a lot of things like that could lead to, that could lead to some problems.
It feels like those rules are kind of changing now that there is more parity in the NBA than there ever has been before. We saw 7 seed in the conference finals. You mentioned the Heat with the 8 seed. The Bucks won the finals as the 3 seed. Like, I feel like it's changing a bit now.
Yeah, so,
for sure.
I mean,
more talent. That's really what it is.
Right. And is more talent. And also we talked a little bit, I think last week, about the importance of home court.
Right.
And how much home field advantage, court field matters in terms of each sport. And I would think that basketball is pretty high up there because they're right on you.
Yeah.
But we've seen the Warriors, we've seen the Heat, like you mentioned, being the 8th seed. If it doesn't matter that much, now you have a problem.
Yeah.
Because people don't care. And if people don't care, they're going to do.
What are they going to play for?
Exactly.
Right.
They're going to do
home field advantage or home court advantage doesn't matter anymore. Then it's not really anything worth fighting for.
Exactly. We know in baseball it doesn't matter. Everybody was winning.
The Rangers,
right? They can't win at home.
Didn't the Rangers literally set a record for most road wins in a run?
Yes.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay,
11-0.
Again, excuse me, casual here, but
no. You sound like you know what you're talking about. All right, time to go NFL, Kyle. Let's get the NFL music going.
Let's go.
Because according to Chris Watkins, this is the biggest and bestest NFL Sunday of the year.
I mean, it's got the best game. I think this is the best
in Germany.
Yeah, in Germany, which is don't get me started on this.
Here we go.
I was excited for this slate of games. I really am.
Here we go. All right, in or out. Chris Watkins, starring Chris Watkins. Dolphins at Chiefs at Germany.
I'm out. There's nothing to watch for this game. This is just some slow, boring offense. I mean, we really got the game of the week last night. This is trash. No, of course. This is absolutely
all the way in.
2 feet in. I'm diving into this game. I don't care if it's at 6:30. Normally, I have a no London game rule where I'm not going to wake up for any game at 6:30 in the morning, even if it's soccer or anything. This one I might have to make an exception to because this is actually the most important, or at least the most exciting game of the year heading into it, and it's going to be at 6:30 in the morning for us West Coasters. So, gotta have to try and make an effort. Hopefully, I get in at least by halftime. But absolutely, could not be more in on this game.
Yeah, and it's the first time Tyreek Hill going up against the Chiefs. He said earlier this week that he did not want to leave the Chiefs. He worked with his agent, thought that they would offer him. He did not. And honestly, yes, the Chiefs won a Super Bowl last season, but I do think the Chiefs are missing Tyreek. And why wouldn't you? He's one of the best wide receivers, a power zont, if you will. So I really think that this is going to be a good matchup, and we'll see what Tua can do. I mean, I know Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle is a guy who all the talent in the world, but he's always got something. He's always dinged up a little bit. So
it's kind of the story of that Dolphins team.
Right. I think he'll play, but we'll see what happens. So we're in on Dolphins at Chiefs at Germany. Vikings at Falcons with Taylor Heineke.
No.
You're not into the
Taylor Heineke against Jaron Hall? No, I'm good.
Who?
Exactly. Taylor Heineke, former
Wait,
Vikings
why isn't it Dobbs?
Because he just isn't going to learn. He is very impressive with playbooks. He's learned playbooks quickly in the past. But
he's like a physicist or an astronaut.
I heard he had like a 4.3 GPA like all throughout high school and college.
He goes to the moon on the weekends when he's not playing.
I've heard. No, I seriously heard that.
University of Tennessee.
Wow.
Jeez.
Rocky Top.
You want to talk about unnecessary strays.
Jeez. That's crazy.
I mean, I have to watch this game, unfortunately, due to my allegiances, but I'm not going to be happy about it. Jaron Hall versus Taylor Heineke. Yikes. First one to 17
Can you give us a background on Jaron Hall?
He's a 5th-round pick out of BYU. He plays like a poor man's Kyler Murray, and we'll see how it goes.
Where do I sign?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes.
Where do I sign?
We'll see how it goes. Justin Jefferson's back next week, so that's
good because he's on my fantasy team. Not that anybody cares. Okay, Bears at Saints. Is Justin Fields back or what's going on there?
I don't think they've officially made the call. It does seem like Bajent's going to play again, but when you're telling me Bajent against Derek Carr, no, thank you. I'm out.
Derek Carr, if he wants to have a little bit of revenge on the Raiders, should have a really good game. because, you know, he was asked about it. He took the high road. Of course he did. Meanwhile, his brothers are all over social media not taking the high road. So we'll see what happens there. Rams at Packers.
No. The Packers just – I can't with what's our guy's name here? Jordan Love. It looks like he's gotten worse quite literally.
No love
Every
for Love.
single week he's played, it's looked worse. The Rams are – you know, I know the Rams did they win last week? They lose last? No, they lost last week to the Cowboys, right?
They are 3-5.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
They got smacked by the
They're
Cowboys.
sliding a little bit. That's right. Yeah, I couldn't remember which way that matchup went. Just not much excitement here. Don't really have anything to say. And if I'm not mistaken, Stafford is questionable still for this game. So I don't know if this is going to be.
All right, rapid fire here.
let's
Kyle's
rapid.
telling us we got a minute left.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Quick ones.
Right here, Commanders, Patriots,
No.
yay or nay?
No. No,
I don't
thanks.
even know
Sam
why I
Howell,
said it.
Mac Jones, no thanks.
Seahawks at Ravens.
Yeah,
I'm
CC, very intrigued.
I'm
Very
in.
intrigued. Yeah.
Buccaneers at Texans.
Mildly interested, but not really. I don't think this really is going to make one of my teams.
I'll watch.
Yeah.
Watch. It's worth the
I'll
Sunday
tune in.
ticket.
Yeah.
Cardinals at Browns. That's a hard no.
No, thanks. Kyler's back next
Colts
week.
at
though.
Panthers.
No.
Absolutely
No,
not.
thanks.
Giants at Raiders.
Yes.
Kind of.
Please.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to see what the
Antonio
Raiders look like.
Pierce. Yeah. AOC. Let's see
And
what
then here's the good
O'Connell's got.
games.
Here are the good games. You got Cowboys at Eagles.
Yes,
That's going to be outstanding.
Is that an afternoon game or is that
Yeah,
an
afternoon
1:25,
game.
yeah.
It'll probably be the America's game.
I was like,
Going
that's
up
good.
against Giants and Raiders, I think it's game of the week.
I'm going to keep that one on my
Bears.
main TV.
Bills at Bengals. A
Huge.
battle of the big quarterbacks. Josh Allen, who, you know, is Josh Allen better than Cam Newton? I don't know. It depends on who you ask. And you got Joe Burrow,
Coming off that crazy
off that
performance.
great win against the Niners.
Yeah.
And lastly,
I'm going Bengals in that one.
to end that outstanding slate,
And
Chargers at Jets. Monday night.
Oh, really?
Chargers at Jets.
Yikes. When's the part of the schedule where we can start flexing things? Because Chargers Jets
It's pretty
has
soon.
no business being the main feature.
Why
on
is Monday Night Football just only Raiders and Chargers?
Yeah.
Every week it's either
They got
Raiders
it locked
or
down.
Chargers.
They got it locked down. All right. We got you locked down for one more segment with Jerry Reynolds hopping in for our guy Kyle Draper as he heads to Houston with the team. And, of course, Whitey Gleason. It's Crosstalk coming up next. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Cooler temperatures mean it's time to reduce your outdoor water use. Water 1 day per week on Saturday or Sunday from November 1st through February 29th. Learn more about your home's watering schedule at sacwaterwise.com.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. Stiles and Watkins.
What's the matter? What happened?
Yeah, what's going on?
You said, whoa, whoa.
No, I said, hey,
whoa, whoa. What's going on?
We're back.
Yeah, you just came in hot here.
Yeah.
Hot on a Friday.
Yeah,
Whitey Gleason.
I'm excited.
Jerry
sorry.
Reynolds hopping in here as we
Yes, sir.
get ready for the Drive guys 2 to 6, doing a great job as always, and a very hot topic for everybody that is listening, because I have other friends that are have big really strong opinions as well on this whole pickleball thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we're going in. Okay.
No, because we have to now.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
What is the problem?
It's just it's a good way to start. It's just I personally feel like if you can play pickleball, there isn't really a good excuse for why you can't play tennis. And that it kind of comes down to that. Because you still are like.
Do you feel like that about ping pong?
No.
What's the difference?
There's still like there's not. I think the amount, yes, there is running in tennis, but I think the amount of movement is a little bit overrated. Like, I think people think when you play tennis, it's just nonstop action all over the place, which it is to an extent, but you can definitely play a more stationary version of tennis.
The idea is, and Jerry taught tennis, so he would know better than I did. The idea is to make the other guy run, right? That's the idea of tennis.
Exactly.
Right.
It is.
Right.
And that's why I quit playing tennis, because I was
you were the other guy.
Yeah. Jerry, you've seen. What do you think about pickleball then?
Well, I think it's got a niche. I mean, obviously, I kind of agree with Chris. I love tennis as long as I could play, but the negative there is when you get into, like in my case, I was in my early 60s when I was hurt all the time, you know? And then I was kind of like Bradley Beal. I was always hurt, and so
just always out.
But I mean, the thing I do see about pickleball, and I know Chris probably disagrees, but you don't have to chase your misses very far.
Sure. Yeah.
That's true. That's why, as a small college coach, me and some guys, we always played badminton. Had an indoor court. Great game.
Right.
And your misses were like that.
Yeah.
And I got pretty good at it. I got so I could beat everybody but the Asian kids.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, pickleball is really making a move. You're going pro now.
Crazy.
I mean, everybody's got a friend. Yeah. Everybody's got a friend that thinks they can go pro in pickleball.
Well, and Kevin Durant's like investing in pickleball teams now. Like they're really trying to make this.
We
into
need a
thing.
franchise in
Sacramento.
We do.
Right? Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm not
we need
against
a second major sport here in Sacramento.
That's
really
right. I'm not against it, and I'm not against Davon Mitchell and what he did a couple nights ago. As we kind of move forward now, you got the Rockets. It's not a team is it a team you can just roll the ball out against? Maybe you feel like that, but there's just not a lot of teams like that in the Western Conference. In general, how do you guys feel, Jerry? You're talking to Jerry Reynolds and Whitey Gleason, of course. How do both of you feel about the upcoming matchups with the Houston Rockets and your expectations for the Kings?
Well, I think you hit on it because it's not the same Houston team. They, I think Ime Udoka is going to do a nice job as a coach. I think some of the veterans they picked up, Fleet. Was Van Vliet? Van Vliet. And of course our good friend Dylan Brooks.
He's actually playing well, though.
I know.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah, no,
I don't know why that whole situation from moving off Memphis and Memphis being done with him. I think he got a bad rap. I think Memphis misses him. They can't win a game.
Yeah.
Well, I think they miss him now. Certainly on the floor. I don't know if they miss him anywhere else.
Right.
But
you don't think they're playing a lot of pickleball with him?
No. So, but I mean, to your point, I definitely think it's a different deal. I mean, they're not going to be an automatic win in Houston. I think they're just looking at their talent. Jabari Smith's playing much better.
Yeah.
And I think getting rid of Kevin Porter Jr. was a good move.
Yeah. Jabari Smith Jr. Jabari Smith Sr. was a Sacramento King.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
Udoka was a Sacramento King.
He was.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
It might have even been teammates.
Ime was a key in our 35-point comeback in the third quarter against the Bulls.
Really?
Yeah, he had about 2 or 3 threes, late. He didn't play a lot, but all of a sudden it just one of those things just got going.
That was the Tyreek game, right?
Yeah.
That was the Tyreek game.
Jason Thompson had a
Tyreek.
moment there too.
Yeah, it was, probably because Vinny Del Negro his job at the end of the year.
That's insane. I mean, Jerry, like, what do you like miss being in the action of everything? And of course, like, you spent so much time of your life just like hyper involved in just about everything, whether it was a broadcast or like the actual team operations. Like, is it nice to just kind of be able to pick and choose your spots now where you can come in?
Oh, I like it like this better. I mean, it'd be great if I wasn't so old. If I could have retired at 50. Yeah. But I really enjoyed that. You miss it a little,
of course.
But I do keep in touch with several people in the league. Guys that kind of came in maybe with me or after me and they're scouts and things. So I feel like I can kind of keep in touch
for sure.
But yeah, it's when you spend all your life in basketball and every level. Somebody was talking about how many states have you been? I said all of them. And sadly, I've been to about every campus, and some of them pretty crappy.
One of my favorite Jerry stories. There's so many. Bob McAdoo?
Of course.
Yeah. So Bob McAdoo, and please correct me if I'm wrong here. Bob McAdoo was visiting. Was that Vincennes Junior College?
I'm sorry.
And he
language of origin. Where's that? Where's that?
Now you watch your mouth.
So Bob McAdoo's going to visit there, and then he ended up going to North Carolina. But the the governor of the state of Indiana was on campus that day. So Jerry sees him, Evan By, right? And he said, Mr. Governor, I got this recruit here. Can you kind of just spend a few minutes with him? And the governor's like, yeah, okay, whatever. That's not why he's there. But afterwards, Bob McAdoo's like, man, the governor of Indiana came to see me today. Yeah. He didn't do that in Carolina. And Jerry's like, yeah, well, that's how important you are.
Wow. No, I said, well, we actually did get him. He played for Vincennes like Sean Marion did, Ricky Green, Foots Walker. So now you can apologize.
Yeah, I will. I had no idea. Right. I have never heard of this place.
That's right.
Yeah, that's where he coached. They had some.
Yeah, my 70s team won the national junior college. We had 8 guys later drafted off that team.
Off of a junior college team? Wow.
Well, it's not like
right.
Well, it's not like California.
How it is now, right?
California's community college. A whole lot of difference. We recruited nationally, and there's probably 50 junior college in the country that recruit nationally.
Yeah, wow.
Have a legitimate program.
Right.
We were on TV and everything locally.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
How many halls of fame are you in?
More than I should be.
At least 3, I think, right?
Yeah. No, I think 5.
5.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Wow.
Show some respect.
Like I said, more than I should be.
Right. That's fair enough. Before we get out of here and let you guys do your thing, De'Aaron Fox, rumored to maybe be playing tomorrow. Do you think it's too soon?
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, based on what we know, it looks like it, but obviously he knows better than I do, and the doctors know better than we do.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't take any chances,
Yeah.
I mean, he's just, if he says I can play, well, I can play is different than you should play.
Yeah.
Is there, do you think there is a thing as a fast healer? Like, have you been around people who feel like they recover from injury faster? Because De'Aaron kind of hints at that he says he just kind of tends to heal faster from injuries than what your typical timeline would say.
I think there's some truth to that, but I think most of it's based on guys who just want to play so bad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I really do. I mean, some of the great players in the league and different things, they find ways to get on the court instead of get off the court.
Right. The best ability is availability. And you have Jerry Reynolds and Whitey Gleason very available for you for the next 4 hours, 2 to 6. Thank you for listening to Stiles and Watkins all week. Have a good weekend. Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and all NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out